This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ottewell Curling Club and Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. I'm Dave Rozak, and with me, the elder statesman of the broadcast crew, Les Rogers. Les, good to have you with me again. And I think we've got ourselves a good game tonight. This is one that I looked at the schedule back about 2 months ago and said, hey, this is the one I'm looking forward to.
That'll be a great game. We've got Cathy Borst, who's a Canadian champion, and playing against her third, who was a Canadian champion at the same time as they played together. She's an ex-junior Canadian champion. They both are. So I look forward to an excellent game.
Heather Godberson, of course, a great third for a number of years with Cathy Borst, and now Heather Nedohin, and part of a great curling family that I know is going to become even greater as the years go by. David, of course, is having a great season, not only here at the Super League, but in the WCT as well. So what a curling family.
Oh, yeah. They've got a lot of history and a lot of good future together.
You know, you talk about rivalries between rinks, and this kind of a situation where a third moves on to get her own rink, that is the kind of thing that sets up great rivalries over the years, isn't it?
What it'll do is, yeah, it brings a lot of emotion to the game, and of course there's, you know, the competition is there and the competitive spirit is with both of them. So we look forward to seeing them both play very well in this game.
Two very competitive ladies, two very competitive teams, I might add as well, tied in the standings in their division. And we'll be back to talk with both skips right after this.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCAD Summit, if it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body, like it never happened.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ottewell Curling Club. Dave Rozak, and we've got talk about a rose between. No, I won't say that. Cathy Borst with me on my left, and on my right, Heather. I was going to say Godberson, but Heather Nedohin, and we'll be talking with Heather in a minute. But right now, Cathy, how excited are you about this one? Have you been looking forward to it for a while?
Well, yeah, we need to be playing some more women in this league, and this is our chance to finally get a women's team. So we're looking forward to playing some good curling tonight.
Now, does this situation garner some rivalries for the future in your mind? Is it the kind of situation that you like?
I mean, when I play another women's team, I go out to play our game, and just whoever it is, I want to play well. So it's hard to say. Like, I mean, Heather and I are good friends, and we both like to win.
I was saying to Lester earlier that two very competitive teams out here, and you are competitive certainly in the Super League in terms of the standings. What about the rest of the season in your mind? How have you been faring so far?
Actually, I think it's the opposite. We haven't been that competitive in the Super League, but we have had a good year on the tour. We ended up 4th in Canada, and we were pretty happy about that. So hopefully we can continue on into the playdowns with a good record.
I guess the inevitable question is, how is Glynis Backer fitting in with you guys, and how are you enjoying the season with her?
Great. She's a good curler. She's got a lot of experience behind her. She's thrown lots of good rocks for us, so it's been fitting in really well.
You've been working around the situation, of course, with her living in Calgary. Has that worked out okay with you guys?
It has. She's managed to have her own time to practice with another coach down there, and she's made it up for pretty well all our Super League games, but 2, I think, so it's worked out really well for us.
Well, obviously you know Heather's game. What kind of a game do you expect tonight?
Do you think I'm going to tell you? We'll see.
Okay, well, good luck tonight. tonight, and I know we're all looking forward to this. It should be a great contest.
Thanks.
All right, Cathy Borst, and let's bring in Heather Nedohin. And Heather, are you excited about this? You've got to be. This is almost like the teacher and the student situation, isn't it, really, in many ways?
Well, we've actually met Cathy before in this year in the league, and like Cathy was saying, we approach every ladies team like we would any other ladies team, and yeah, it's fun. It's always fun against playing against your former teammates. So, but it's also fun playing with your former teammates. So it is exciting.
Talk about your rink. It's a very young rink, really, overall. Talk about the gals.
Well, yeah, I'm the old girl on the team now. And actually, we have a lot of experience for being a youthful team. Rona McGregor playing lead. She has been fifth player for us for 4 years now, but also has been very competitive in the past with the ladies league, or in the ladies, playing with Faye White previously. Christy Moore, well, she's a name of her own, has skipped in the past with juniors. This is her first year with ladies, so it's exciting. She's very hungry and she's a keen player, and you'll see that tonight. And with Carmen, Carmen has recently taken 2 years off of curling, but she's been my third in the past, and you'll see our relationship is very strong.
I was going back earlier tonight talking about the kind of year you've had. It's been a pretty exciting year for you, I would say. Getting married and, of course, changing teams, and now getting a new house, the whole thing. It's been quite a year.
Yeah, actually, in addition to that, I've got a new job, and I'm working at Grant MacEwan College, and it has been a year of change, but it's also very exciting. And like anything, it's how you approach change, and I've been very happy with my change.
Well, Cathy wouldn't tell me what kind of a game to expect. Can you tell me what kind of a game we can expect tonight?
Well, if we look at the last game when we played each other, there's tends to be a lot of rocks in play. Cathy tends to come out and be conservative at the start, from years of experience. But, it'll be an interesting game. I'm hoping it'll come down the last rock like usual.
Well, I know it's going to be fun to watch. No question. I think our viewers are in for a great one tonight.
I believe so, too.
All right, Heather, good luck, and thank you very much. And we'll be back with the opening rocks right after this.
Read the Edmonton Sun daily for your end-to-end coverage of Herber's Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Come in and visit Kevin's Curling Supplies. Located upstairs in the Ottewell Curling Club, Kevin's knowledgeable staff are all top caliber curlers who can advise you on the products that the professionals use. Kevin's Curling Supplies, brand names the champions trust. Coca-Cola wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening, always Coke.
Do you, Karen, take Brad to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Brad?
Donnie? Derek? Tracy? Todd?
Too bad we can't do for life what we do for television.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Rozak along with Les Rogers and end number one of this battle of the ladies in the Super League. Cathy Borst against Heather Nedohin. And I'll tell you what, as I said to Cathy at the beginning, Les, I looked at the schedule back a couple of months ago, and I knew this was going to be just a headline game and just something that I think a lot of fans have been looking for a long time in Edmonton.
Yeah, this will be a great game when you get the two curlers of Cathy and Heather's ability that have played together and now playing against each other, playing the same strategy. They played together for 3 years. They learned the strategy. They learn how to curl together. They learn each other. And now they come out and play each other. So it'll be an excellent game.
And there you got your first look at the brand new third for Cathy Borst's rink, Glennis Backer. And Glennis is a legal secretary down in Calgary for the firm of Burnett, Duckworth and Palmer when she's not curling and practicing a lot, getting ready for this season and her new job with Cathy and her rink. She's got all kinds of experience. Been a runner-up in the JVC Skins game. She won the Skins game back in 1998. So no doubt she is familiar with the kind of pressure cooker that Cathy Borst often gets involved in as far as the curling game is concerned.
Well, when they're traveling around and playing in the World Curling Tour, that's the kind of spiels that they're playing in, along with playing all the other top teams in Canada.
That's right.
So you get You get a lot of pressure and you have to make a lot of shots, and they're proving that they can do that.
There's a good look at Glennis on the left, and of course Brenda Bomer. 5 years with Cathy Borst. 1998, she was the MVP at the Scott Tournament of Hearts, and considered by many to probably be the best woman sweeper in the entire world of curling. And
she's a very good, strong sweeper. And she prides herself in that. And when you take that competitiveness and put it into the whole game as you're doing not only the shooting but the sweeping, it shows, and people recognize it.
And Christy Moore takes her first shot of this game, and the second for Heather Nedohin, just 20 years of age. She is the youngest member on the team, and I think she may be the youngest player in Super League, if I'm not mistaken. I know there are a couple of 20-year-olds playing over with the Tim Kratchmer rink. In fact, John Myglod is about 19 or 20 years of age. So we've certainly got some young blood this year in the Super League.
There's young players, and they're excellent players, and that's what brings the game on, and that's why we're here. We want to promote the game of curling and get everybody involved in it.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've got junior Canadian champions out here. Colin Davidson plays here. Scott Pfeiffer plays here. Carter Rycroft, who lost the Alberta Championship, he plays here. He won the Alberta Championship. Like, there's a lot of juniors that are coming up and are playing very well.
Okay, you got a nice look at the nice smooth delivery of Christy Moore as she is asked to take that blue stone out of the top of the 12-foot. Does so nicely and clears her own. And back to square one as Cathy Borst asks Brenda Bomer to put up that corner guard.
Yeah, Cathy has last rock here. So what she's going to do, and we've discussed this, is she wants to try and get 2 points. The way to do it is to get a corner guard up there and get trying to get some rocks around, trying to get a rock that you can get behind, and pick up 2 points.
Incidentally, Borst is throwing the blue stones, and Nedohin the yellow stones, and the perfect corner guard.
Very good. Heather's chose to ignore that by throwing one into the house.
Now, of course, having thrown well past the 3 rock rule, she can easily take that one out. But what's the thinking there? Just
what she's doing is saying, okay, we don't have last rock. We're going to try and steal one.
That's right.
If we can put a center guard up here and get one behind it on the button, we'll steal one. So she's becoming aggressive in this end right away. We've seen, as they started the end out, there was one in the house where they hit it. Hit it a couple times until such time it was a rollout. Now they've both been aggressive. Cathy throwing the corner guard and Heather throwing the center guard. Try and get some rocks in play to try and steal that point.
So they will set that one up just about 3 feet in front of the house, and Cathy Borst says, nope, we'll get rid of that one very quickly.
It was a good shot. She threw the guard right where they wanted it. Now Cathy's asking Glennis to remove it.
Very good. I think for a lot of Edmonton curlers, their first look at Glennis Cocker. And
she's played a few games in the Super League, but this is the first one on TV, so we get a chance to look at her. I was talking to Cathy earlier before the game started, and she was saying that the zones start this coming weekend, and there's 4 teams playing off for 2 spots. So her southern zones, they get to play in that, and this is a warm-up game for those playdowns.
For those who may not be aware, of course, Cathy is technically curling out of Red Deer, which means that technically she is a member of the Southern Alberta Curling Association. And of course, as Les mentioned, they are doing their zone playoffs starting this weekend. So it's kind of a different trek for Cathy. Really, now she almost becomes the visitor in a way, doesn't she?
Well, it's true. They've made the choice to play out of Red Deer, and so the Glennis can make the trek up from Calgary and meet with them, and they play there. They joined the Red Deer Curling Club and are playing out of Southern Alberta Curling Association this year.
Has to make it life a little bit more difficult. I mean, you may not be as familiar with the ice in the clubs that you're playing the zones in than you would be, say, if you were playing up here in Edmonton.
Well, you won't have played as many games there. I don't know whether they travel there every week and play or not. I'm not aware of that. But yeah, you're not as familiar with it. But as you go around and play on cash fields on the weekend, playing the World Curling Tour, you're playing on a whole bunch of different ice situations anyway. And with the experience that Cathy has and the exposure that she's had to different curling conditions, picking up the ice in Red Deer, which is very good, is not a big problem.
So Glennis's second shot will hit and stick, and that sets up a center guard of sorts, and I'm no doubt that Heather Nedohin will try and take advantage of that.
Oh, that's why she played the guards. She played the center guards to get this to happen, and now it's happened, so now her best shot is to come around to the top of the 4 foot behind it.
Yep. And our first opportunity to see Heather Nedohin as a skip here in the Super League. Heck of a night of firsts all around here.
Yeah.
Heather Nedohin with her first stone, trying to curl in around that center guard left there by Cathy Borst, but I can tell you, Les, I played on this sheet last night, and you get outside anywhere around that 4 foot line and it is not going to move. In fact, it may drop off in several areas.
Runs pretty straight there, does it?
It ran very, very straight on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that one ran straight. That, you know, with the nose hit on the guard, Heather moved the broom out a little bit from where she had the guard, and it ran straight down. She had beautiful weight. Just stayed open. Now Cathy wants to hit this and roll behind the guards, but she wants to basically over-roll and roll to the other side of it. She doesn't know if she's straight behind it. Heather will still have the opportunity to freeze on it and really put the pressure on Cathy with her last rock.
All right. Cathy Borst in the hack, and down at the other end holding the broom is Glennis Backer. The broom held right onto the rock.
But it's running just like you said, Dave.
Yeah.
It's running straight down. She's going to get a nose hit. Now what's she going to do?
I say she probably has to go after it and try and roll in behind that that stone on the left.
Excellent. You've been watching and learning from your TV, haven't you?
That's why
You've been doing a good job.
That's why we won a big game on Tuesday night. Boy, I'll tell you.
All right.
And I owe it all to my coach here.
Hey,
Les
that'll work.
Rogers.
Yeah, she wants to hit this and roll behind the guard, and what that does is it forces a count on the first end. And either she's going to steal one or at least get the hammer to be on the second end.
Exactly. Right.
You know, and when you have last rock, you want to play aggressively to try and get 2 points.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this finesse kind of curling here tonight from the ladies. And she took a little bit off of this one, but it's still not moving a whole lot. She'll get a bit of a roll. In fact, it'll roll right into the open.
Rolled it just a little farther than what they wanted. Yeah, she rolled it right into the hole now. It's an easy shot to hit it, but it's a tough shot to roll out. Cathy would like to hit this and roll out and blank the end. Of course, retain last rock to try and get 2 when she has the hammer.
And this is, even though it may be wide open, it is not an easy kind of shot. That's still unknown ice out there, and I know from Tuesday night, it's a little tricky on that side. How tricky is it? Well, I almost put one into the sideboards.
Did you? They don't have, as in bowling, they don't have gutters here, so you can't throw it away.
I know. Yeah, well. Oh, she's right on the money with this one. Get a little bit of a roll.
Now it's in behind the guard.
In behind the guard, and further sticks around for the point, and she takes a 1-0 lead. After one, Cathy Borst goes up on Heather Nedohin to score 1-0 after one end of play.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCAD Summit, if it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body, like it never happened.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Rozak along with Les Rogers, Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling here on Shaw. And let's take a look at the standings. First of all, in the Anthony Norman division, David Nedohin on top with a 9-1 record, just having a great season after a big win on the weekend, too, in the Poor Boys. Then you have Rob Buckles at 8-2. Henderson 7-3, along with Ken Hunka and Gord Trenchy, all at 7-3. Greening at 6-4. Pat McCallum is at 5-5, along with King, also at 5-5. And Les giving me the thumbs up. Gary and his rink having a good season this year overall. There's Colin Davison at 5-5, along with Jerry Seaman. And then you have David Klimenhaga, then Kobilka, Kravanka, Sheba, Park, and Deb Santos, bringing up the rear in the Anthony Norman division with a record of 1-9.
It's a good division. It's close near the top.
It is.
And there's a lot gathered in the middle. When you get into the playoffs, when we take the top 6 teams from each division, that 6th position looks like it's going to be awful close.
You know, you look at the Park rink, all the 4 brothers, of course, playing together. They've had a great season as far as the WCT is concerned. In fact, I think they're ranked about 18th or 19th, but have not had a great year as far as the Super League goes. Now, in the CNK Management Division, got a tie atop the standings with Kevin Martin and James Paul at 8-2. And right behind them, Brad Hanna and Mark Johnson having a great year at 7-3. Stewart at 6-4, along with Telford, Fish, and Rob Schlender, all at 6-4. Heading into the 11th week of action, John Klimenhaga at 5-5. Jamie Booton having a pretty good year, 4-6. Then Kratchmer at 4-6. And Hunka 4-6 as well, followed by McGregor at 3-7. Cathy Borst and Heather Nedohin both at 2-8, along with Dale Wishawan. So that's the way the CNK Management Division sets up. Really tight atop the standings as well in that one.
Yeah, it's very close.
Back on sheet number 5, where Cathy Borst leads Heather Nedohin by a score of 1-0. In the second end, and we're into second stones here with Brenda Bomer putting one up.
Okay, what we've had is Cathy's thrown a couple center guards, and the last one that they just threw at Heather Nedohin nose hit it. So Cathy tried to come around it with Brenda. Brenda was just a little bit short. Now we got 2 center guards. So now Heather's just changing her tactics on the end, and she's now going to go after her 2 points by drawing around the center guards.
And Kate Horn really set this whole end up by just sliding into the top of the 12-foot with her first stone, and that kind of set in motion the wheels for this end.
She was just, yep. There's a good-looking shot.
Christy Moore, the 20-year-old former world junior champion back in 1996 when she played second.
For Heather Nedohin.
Or Heather Nedohin.
Or Heather Godberson at the time.
So, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, this is probably this is a new rink to a lot of curling fans out there, but for the players themselves, I mean, they know each other. They've played together for the most part, so they're pretty familiar with each other.
Yeah, they learn. Then when you split up a little bit, you gain more maturity and more shots.
Yeah.
Come back together, and you have to relearn each other again. But yeah, they've got a lot of great skills, and they work very well together.
No question about that. Brenda Bomer just follows that stone of Christy Moore's into the house. Both of them in behind cover, although that blue stone at the side of the forefoot looks like it might be about half open or so.
Yeah, what she can do, if she throws the same weight as she just threw, she can come down and just roll off to the inside there and have two buried behind the center guards, which will set the end up very nice for her. She doesn't really want to be any heavier than she was in the first one, though. Just back forefoot will do the job.
It's still hanging out there along that 4-foot line. Now it'll start to move.
Got a pretty good looking shot here, Dave. Yeah, excellent shot.
Very nicely done to sit too.
Now what do you do?
If you're Cathy Borst, I like trying to she's looking, I think, taking that front guard out, but
yeah, you've got to open it up here.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're sitting in a situation where you're going to give up 2 points.
Yeah.
And you don't have the hammer, so if you open it up, that forces Heather then to throw a guard on it to make sure she still gets her 2. So, by getting it open, you got giving yourself the opportunity and forcing Heather to make her shots.
So Glennis Bacher with the peel. Obviously, she'd like to double if she can get it, but I don't. Well, there's a possibility. It's there. And she clears both of them out, but will stick around herself and leaves one yellow stone pretty much open.
Well, that gives her both shots at it now. You got to, just like Heather's indicating here, she wants one in the top 8 foot just to guard those up a bit. Don't want to have the opportunity for Cathy to get into them.
Yep.
So you can throw a guard, hold on to the 2, and maybe with the last rock draw for 3.
Yeah. Now she's putting a guard up just to the left of the center line, but of course there's always the other side too to come in, and we know that it does move on that side.
Yeah, but all she can do is get to the face of the yellow one, which then still leaves Cathy, or just still leaves her counting 2.
That's right. Rona McGregor and Christy Moore on the brooms, and they'll bring it in top 12, slide into the 8 foot.
That's just where she called for it.
What'd you get on that one?
If she can see all of it, she should be able to just double 2 out there. And that opportunity is there now.
All right, an opportunity for Glennis Bacher, and we know she can throw pretty good weight. She just doubled out the 2 guards in front. So
well, Cathy just asked for board weight here. So what she wants it to do is come down, curl a little bit, and nose hit the one that was just thrown.
they're close. Nose.
No, made a pretty good shot. Made the double. Rolled to the outside. So
now Heather is still sitting shot, but those 2 blue stones are right behind her.
You know, what Heather wants to do here is just hit that and roll a little bit over to the right. Get in behind the guard, have first and third shot, so that if Cathy makes a mistake, she can tap that one out of the back of the forefoot and be counting 3.
This is Carmen Barrick, 23-year-old, holds a Bachelor of Commerce degree from the U of A and a Bachelor of Applied Arts degree in radio and television from Ryerson Polytechnic University in Toronto.
There's a pretty good shot. She hit and rolled just a little farther than what they had wanted, but she still got it in front of them.
Sit on top of that, yeah, anywhere in front.
Incidentally, Carmen volunteered to take over your job anytime that I wanted. So
yeah.
Okay. Not going too hard here.
And I said, well, there's no question you're a whole lot prettier than Les.
Okay. I was led to understand, now I don't know, she was talking to you, but that it might have been the other way, and you maybe you're just switching the words around?
No. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it.
Okay, what Cathy's done here, what she's asked to do is she wants to just draw down in front of the yellow one. and say to Heather, okay, we'll let you have one, but you're going to have to make a real good shot to draw the button for 2.
Just the kind of contest we were expecting from these two ladies. Heather Nedohin sitting shot with that yellow stone in the top right-hand side of the 4-foot. And Cathy Borst looking to draw down to it. Looks like she's got the good weight. Now they're onto it.
Got a pretty good looking shot.
There you go. Sits right beside it, although it is open and it is takeable.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Heather's just saying she just wants to just bump it back.
Yeah.
And roll over a little bit.
But we moved on the hit on the outside a little bit.
Scoot it. I don't want to scoot us too far. So yeah, I don't want to do that. Just board.
Now, does she want to come across the face of that a little bit less?
No, she would, because it's a
Or
little
roll
bit
it to
behind
the
the yellow
side.
one. What she wants to do is hit it right on the nose and stay right there.
There you go.
So if she rolls out to the left a little bit, then she's setting up a double, or the possibility of a hit and a roll over. So her best shot here is, as she indicated, is just come down with board weight, just like she wants, and just throw it and just tap it back out of the house and be counting 2.
Incidentally, I was just going through the record books trying to find out if these two teams had ever played against each other since Heather left, and they did play in the semifinals in Leduc in the opening Bonspiel of the season. And Cathy won that one, but right down to the last end of the last stone.
Yeah, Heather was a little heavier than what she wanted there. And the rock ran straight down, didn't get any curl.
But that still leaves Heather with the counter in the 4-foot. And now Cathy tries the same shot.
No, she wants to come right back into the same spot. She would, not really the same spot. She'd rather be right in front of her yellow one, or a little bit short of it.
Tighten it too much.
She can be just right in front of that blue one. Or get her blue one right in front of the yellow just for shot rock is the best spot for her.
And she's cut the ice down just a tad.
How far is a tad?
A tad is somewhere between a tetch and a bit.
Okay.
So they used to call it back in the Ottawa Valley.
Ah.
Just a tetch, just a tetch. Looks like she's got a little bit more weight on it this time. Needs to curl a bunch.
And the sweepers are indicating that she's throwing it a little harder.
No line, guys. Sarah's here. Gotta be here. Right up there.
And she did throw it a little harder.
No question about it. And here's an opportunity for Heather, and let's just give a listen to what they're looking at.
Think we could move it? All we gotta do is move it to here. Kirsty.
I don't know.
You have to catch right here.
You guys like this? Take a look at it. Come and take a look at it. No. I only have to hit about a...
What do you think she's looking at, Dave?
I think she's looking at banging that front yellow one of hers onto the one in the 4-foot, which will bang out that blue one and sit for 1, 2, 3, 4. How's that?
Half is fine, yeah.
4.
I like normal.
Yeah, well, that one's...
I don't mind it. You guys mind it? Okay.
Do you want to play it normal weight? You want to play it that much?
Yeah, because we want to hit across.
But if we miss the shot and we play with less weight, it might just hit this and we still might stick around. If we hit like back line.
It's a matter of...
Okay, let's try it. Doesn't hurt. Half or less.
Yeah.
So she doesn't think she can stick around to make it 4, but she'd at least like to make it 3.
Yeah, when you said 4, yeah, she's gonna. to make this shot, she has to hit about a quarter of the rock.
Yeah.
Go over on the top of the yellow one and drive the blue one out, and her shooter will roll out.
Right.
Okay. That's for 3. Now, the other option here is to draw the button for 2. Now, what's the downside of this shot is that if she hits the yellow one wrong, she can double her yellow one out of there and leave one blue one.
And a steal of 1 for Cathy. So,
yeah. So you've got to look at both sides, which is the upside and the downside. The upside is you're going to get 1 more than if you draw for 2.
Now, do you think she might be a little greedy here?
Well, it's always nice to get more than 2 when you got a shot at it.
She's taking a good 6 inches of ice. Now, it'll be interesting to see how this stone reacts outside that 4-foot line, and it's just hanging there. Now it starts to move in, but
no, didn't hit enough of it. It was a good try.
Yeah. 1 yellow. She was looking at 3. She gets 1, and it's all tied at 1 after 2 ends of play between Cathy Borst and Heather Nedohin.
Yeah, Heather threw that very well. She just maybe took a little more ice than what she had expected it to curl a bit. There was a few draws they threw in there that curled. Now the first up weight hit or normal weight hit that they've thrown down there kind of ran pretty straight on her.
You know, as you heard, when we were talking before the game, and I asked both ladies if this game is a little bit special to them, and I said no. I mean, anytime you're playing another good rink, it's just good, clean competition. That shot was almost like going for the jugular, and I wonder if the past relationship between these two had anything to do with the planning of that shot.
Well, really, as we said, there's a couple things that went into that. Heather's already counting 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's got 1, which means the game's tied.
Yeah.
Okay, she's trying to get 3, which gives you that. Normally, when you have the last rock, you can play for 2 and get 2. But she was looking at saying, okay, I'm going to get that 1-point bonus by making 3 points here. A lot of ends, you have to take your 2. You don't have the opportunity to try for 3. So she's being aggressive and playing it that way.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if this were not Cathy Borst against Heather Nedohin, would Heather have gone for that 3 and just said, okay, let's draw for the 2 and be happy?
I would think so. She played the first end aggressive, and that's just an aggressive shot, and that's the way she seems to play. Yeah. So, yeah, I believe she would have.
Yep. Okay. That's why you're the coach.
Well, you watch them play, and they understand that each team's going to get points, and you know how many, and you've got to get them when you have the opportunity to. There she gave up, let's say, a sure shot for 2 with the opportunity or the chance to get 3. Like that might be the only time in the whole game she has a chance for that.
I would expect we're going to see a fair number of points up in that scoreboard by the time this one's over.
Well, they're playing aggressive. There was 5 rocks in play that end. You know, 3 yellow and 2 blue in the house. So I'm quite sure we're going to see rocks again. Cathy has a corner guard already that was thrown up by Kate Horn. And now she's asking Kate just to nose hit and roll a little bit, keeping her rocks in play and eliminating Heather's.
That way she's got stones on the corners and something to work with.
Could be the cornerstone of this game. Glad you brought that up, Dave.
You've been waiting for that all night, haven't you?
Well, you were telling me how quick you are. I knew that you would catch on to that one. I wouldn't have to explain it.
Well, actually, Rick Taylor, our director, told me 2 jokes before we went on the air, and both of them went whoop right over my head.
You're going to have to stand up, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, what's happened here now is that Heather, being aggressive, is calling Christie to draw around that center guard.
It's starting to move pretty good off that center line. It'll just brush that guard.
She was just a little late, a little bit more weight, and she'd have been all right and got by the guard.
It leaves her with a center guard. But Cathy doesn't want anything to do with those rocks out front, so she'll try and take them both out.
Well, what she wants to do is move them over. She can hit the yellow one and roll onto the blue one and maybe kick it over and roll over a little bit too. Okay. If you eliminate it, it doesn't really matter. It's good enough. Wants to keep everything off the center line though, so that it's open for her last shot in case she needs to use it to get one.
Well, she sure got the right side of that house well covered.
Well, if you watch the first end, that's where they tried to draw around the center guard and couldn't. Heather tried it and couldn't get it to curl at all. So they've made the switch in the strategy already is to go to the other turn because, okay, if the out turn isn't going to curl there, let's play the in turn and see if it does. Okay. This is the first 5 ends, 6 ends. You're always trying to find out exactly what the ice will do for you. And then you get into where there's lots of rocks in play.
Christy Moore. The young lady is only 20 years of age, but she has a wealth of experience behind her in terms of curling 8 provincials. She has completed a computerized accounting program at the Career Development Institute and is currently attending Grant MacEwan Community College, taking a course in massage therapy.
Okay, she threw that one just in front of the house. Cathy's asking to board weight to hit and roll over.
Cathy Borst with the hammer in this end. Moving pretty good once it gets across that center line.
Yeah, she was playing a hit on the yellow one, and Brenda's rock curled more than they wanted, and it rubbed the blue one. But what it did is it pushed one of Cathy's rocks in behind the guards. Now, there's the advantage of having all the rocks around and playing with them in play. Now there's one in play. Now Heather has to be very careful that not. She's playing a tap here, try and get it into the top of the 8-foot behind her own guard or behind the corner guards to eliminate that one that counting that's been raised in.
Carmen Barrick. Played third for Heather Nedohin in 1996 when they won the World Juniors.
She had good weight on it. It just curled a little more than they wanted.
Again, it seems that once it gets across that center line, it really moves.
Control.
Carmen, I hear, is besides being an outstanding curler, pretty good golfer too.
Well, with the weather we've been having, could probably be out golfing now.
I meant to call Lakeshore the other day and see whether they were open. I played there on New Year's Eve 2 years ago.
Oh, did you?
New Year's Eve, my wife and I went out there and played 18 holes.
Was it cold?
No, actually, it wasn't bad. But if you got one of those low screamers, it was going to go a mile every time it hit the ice. And
oh, yeah. The ground was frozen pretty hard, wasn't it?
Yeah. I put one into the water, went out and got it. Chipped it
you
on.
walk on water? You telling me now, too?
Hard water. Real hard water.
Anyway, what's happened here is that Cathy's got a nose hit, and Heather's asking Carmen to just hit and roll over a little bit. She doesn't really want to roll behind the guard. She wants to stay out just between the guards and the center line there, so that it eliminates Cathy being able to draw around. Right. If she rolls too far, Cathy just drawing behind the corner guard.
The last stone at this end for Carmen Barrick. It moves pretty good on that side too.
That's a good shot. What she tried to do there and accomplished it is to eliminate Cathy's rock and also block off the 4-foot so that Cathy has to play on her rock to get it out of play.
Okay.
If she'd have hit and rolled out, Cathy's got a free shot. She could either draw the other side or draw behind the corner guards to set up possibly 3. Well, that was an excellent shot.
Glennis Backer with her last stone at this third end. Looking forward to talking with Glennis between the 5th and the 6th ends. He'll get rid of that yellow stone at the front of the house and roll off to the left.
Roll out of play, yeah.
Oh, we can do it.
Well, you can see a bit of this, and the way it went so straight, but
Yeah,
you're just going to roll out.
it's not going to do us any good.
No. Although we could play yellow onto that.
Yeah, but if I nick theirs, then they still got it open up as well.
Yeah.
Don't mind sitting here. Sure, here's fine. Just get an idea of what it does. I think that's good ice. It just comes at the end.
Okay.
It's quick, hey?
13 and a half.
Okay, now you see, she talked about two different shots there. She talked about playing half the yellow one onto the blue one and knocking it out. But Heather mentioned that if I just nick the blue one, now it doesn't help us at all. She has more confidence in throwing the draw, so she wants to throw the draw into the top of the 8-foot behind the yellow one. So that forces Cathy to make her shot again very good.
Interested spectator here tonight, standing behind us, Mr. Nedohin.
Yeah, David, the big winner on the weekend. Congratulations, David.
Did I see a rush for the bar when you walked in, Dave? No? Big win over Marv Worth and Mark Johnson and the guys.
See, with a little more weight here, that isn't curling as much as we've seen Carmen's last one curl.
That's right.
Way over. Well, with just this, then it's a difference of maybe 8 to 10 feet in weight. Just didn't get over the center line soon enough to get enough curl to go behind, and now it's behind the tee line.
And a break for Cathy Borst as she does her sprint down the ice.
Well, it's an opportunity to hit this, and really when you hit this, you don't want to stay there.
No.
You want to roll over to the center line or farther. If you stay there, then Heather can freeze on it, which takes away the corner guard, takes the one away behind the corner and eliminates the possibility of two. That's why you want to roll into the open.
And it's too far back in the house to think about rolling in behind those 3 stones out front.
No, you can't do it. It's too close to the guards.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that communication we talk about. Both sweepers saying it's up. But it holds on. A little bit of a movement, but not much. While we've got a minute here, we'll go over to sheet number 6 in our update game. The Tim Kratchmer rink taking on Dave Stewart. Or
Dale, a new guy.
Dave, the self-employed plumber from Mamio Beach. And the takeout, stick around for 1. And
Tom Kratchmer hit it right on the nose for 1 point.
Yep. And now trails by a score of 3-1 after 3 ends of play to Dave Stewart and his rink. And back on sheet number 5. Good look at Heather Nedohin. I think I'm getting used to calling her Nedohin now.
She's chosen to tap it out, which is a good shot.
They're onto this one right away.
Well, the other ones we watched ran pretty straight there. It doesn't seem that it's going to curl a lot, so looks like she's got a very good shot. Good shot.
Well, as you mentioned, you know, up the weight a little bit, and it's not going to move a whole lot.
Run straight, yeah.
Easy control.
Found that out the hard way last night.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Made too many, did you?
In the early going.
Touch more ice. Yeah, cool.
All tied at 1 here in the 3rd end.
Okay, now they played the whole end to try and get 2, and this is her opportunity to do it.
Set up very nicely for her.
It was actually, this end was set up with a miss. Remember, Brenda Bomer was playing on a yellow one and bumped the blue ones in. That's how the end was set up, but that happens a lot.
Yeah, you don't mind a miss like that. Some would call it Plan B.
Well, along with all the other players then making their shots, and it turned out good for Cathy.
That's
for
right.
2. That can happen next end the other way.
So Cathy Borst will pick up 2 and leads by a score of 3-1. And we'll be back with fourth end action right after this.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCAD Summit. If it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body, like it never happened.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Roszak along with Les Rogers. I was trying to figure out why you're in such a good mood tonight, Lester, and I finally figured it out. You won another zone on the weekend.
Sometimes that'll happen. Yeah.
How many is that now?
My team played very well.
Yeah.
Warren Kushner and Larry Gardeski and Larry Tibble played excellently, and actually Kushner didn't play very well because he didn't play. But he's got a sore knee. He injured his knee, and we had Len Erickson sub for him. And Len played excellently.
Len Erickson, great. So it was a good day, a good weekend all around for you guys. Doug Cameron also picking up a B event zone, so he's got to be pretty pleased. And some guy named Wes Montgomery.
Yeah, Wes was playing with Al Edwards.
Yeah.
They played. Actually, they won the A side. I know that from first-hand experience because they beat us.
Brian Kupch and George Spanik, of course, the rest of that rink. And Tommy Reed, who I still believe is Bob Bradburn's twin. Bob, of course, the morning man on CHQT, a man I worked with for a number of years. I still say he's Bob Bradburn's twin. The two of them look amazingly alike.
You have to check with them on that one. I don't know the answer.
There you get a good look at Rona McGregor throwing her second stone of this fourth end.
Tried to hit and roll behind the guard, and she hits and rolls out. Cathy's going to walk up and peel the guard, trying to eliminate any possibility for Heather to get 2 here.
Cathy has a stone sitting in the top of the 12-foot. Well out of play, or in play, but well off to the side. She'll peel and roll over and partially cover that. Now, is that any good?
That's a good shot, yeah.
Great shot.
That's a good shot. Now, what it does, though, is that now we're back into the same situation we had last time. We've got rocks out front with guards. It gives Heather the opportunity to draw behind them and to get her 2 points.
So actually the same situation, only opposite.
Same just for the other team. Now this is the first time they've played this way over on this far out on the outside, and it curled a little more than they expected. Although Christie had very nice weight.
They'll push that blue stone in.
You know, Cathy's counting 2, and she's going to call a guard. She's calling Brenda to throw a guard at it. If you notice the ice she's given her the out turn is going to run pretty straight, so she's just saying it's going to run straight down and will throw a guard just close to the front of the house. She asked for it to be tight, which means within a foot or 2 feet of the front of the house.
Brenda Bomer makes her home in Balt. And does a little bit of farming down there. Take a look at some of the percentages for both these rinks when we get an opportunity here.
Okay, Brenda was good line on that one. Good guard weight halfway over the hog line, halfway between the house and the hog line, which is a good guard. The way that in turn curled on the first one that Christie threw, though, this could curl. She could curl right in on top of this.
But again, the way that first stone of hers came in, it opened it up for Cathy to kind of turn things around in this end. And now here's another possible turning point for Christy Moore, her second stone at the end.
Calling for the same weight, just draw down and freeze on top of the blue one. Line looks pretty good.
It'll make top 12.
That's a good shot.
Yep.
What it does, it now gives her the opportunity to be able to hit it and stay there. Cathy's now saying, well, we're not going to leave it for you, we're going to hit it.
I think she can see enough of it that she can take that one straight back pretty much, can't she? Without taking that blue one out?
That's what she asked, but Glenna's yelled down and has changed her mind. She's going to throw a guard.
Okay.
She guards the yellow one. That means that Heather can't bump it back. Threw a very good guard there, right halfway between the hog and the house again, directly in front of the yellow ones. They've thrown two very good guards.
The fact that it's staggered too,
well, that makes it a little easier to make the double. Heather's just called the double. If she can get her to hit it and roll, or take out both of them, that'd be excellent.
She would need to hit that front guard fairly thin.
Well, hit about half.
You think so?
Half to 3/4 will get rid of both guards.
To spill it. Comes across this one.
Or you can hit the other half and roll off too.
The reason I mentioned that is because it looked like from where we're sitting up here that if she hit that thing with half or slightly less than half, it would take that second blue stone back onto the yellow stone and punch the.
No, if you hit half, if you hit less than half, all you're doing is going to just drive it onto the blue, and the blue will go to the boards, and it'll stay right there. As it turns out, she curled across it, but it was a good shot because it forces Cathy to throw a guard. Now, one of the keys here is you always want the other person throwing a shot that they have to make.
Yeah.
So if there's a half shot or anything, a little bit of an error, it opens it up and gives you the opportunity. Now, Glennis was a little heavy on this one.
Yep. It does.
You might still have got a good enough guard out of it that you can't go across the yellow one enough to hit it back onto the blue.
Okay.
But you do have the opportunity to bump the yellow one straight back. Bump the yellow one straight back, roll over a hair. The one you throw is now wide open in the hole. You've got shot rock back in the 4-foot, and Cathy still has to make a shot or else you're going to get two. So it's a chess game on ice.
It is. And you are so good at it.
Well, up here. Down there, there's other ways to look at it.
Oh, I'll tell you.
But you see, by looking at this view here, if you just tap the yellow one just back into the 4-foot, on my telestrator here with my finger, nobody else can see it, I can. You roll over in front of the blue one, now you're right in the middle of the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, you see my finger there? Yeah.
I can see your finger. Yeah.
Right where the broom
You're
is.
putting a smudge on the screen there, Les.
Yeah, well, if you just roll over to where the brush is now, where Heather's holding the brush, you leave it wide open to hit it back onto the blue one, and you've got shot rock back in the forefoot.
All right. Let's see what Carmen Barrack comes up with. Interesting battle at third going on. Oh, it's by the guard, and it's going to be just a great shot.
Ideal, perfect shot. Now you've got, it's wide open to raise it back.
Yeah.
You've got shot rock behind a guard, right in the forefoot.
And she just squeezed by. There was a hair's breadth between her stone and that blue guard up front.
Throw about half.
As I started to say, it looks like an interesting battle shaping up at third between Glennis Backer, the veteran, and the youthful Carmen Barrack. Carmen is firing 83. After that one, probably about 85 to maybe even close to 90.
Shot. Excellent shot.
And Glennis is at 79. So it'll be interesting to see how that shapes up.
Well, that'll switch because Glennis's last rock was the one that she just rubbed the guard and rolled over.
Yeah.
And so that would be a half shot. And
the first
Carmen
one was
just made hers excellently, so now she made a full shot, so that might put her another half shot ahead.
Yeah. And Cathy Borst.
Now, Cathy's asked for hack weight here to try and come around and bump that yellow one out.
Yeah. Cathy shooting 75%.
We do know it'll run pretty straight out there.
It does. And it's definitely not going to move at all.
Right, now you've got two choices again on shots here.
And there enough we can
Now here she has that choice coming up that she had in the first end, right? Or in the second end, where she can go for the 3 or go for the 2.
Well, here you can set up. You can set up 3.
Yeah. 14.
So she's decided now that she's going to try and grind on that side and sit on top of that Yellowstone.
Sure, it is fine, but I just don't want to set her up for the double or something.
Yeah, she wants. Just what she's saying. She wants to throw a draw down right in front, but she doesn't want to make sure she doesn't set up a double.
Heather Godberson trying to set up her 3 in this fourth end. Drawing down to sit on top of her own Yellowstone at the top of the button.
Not curling very much.
May have just pulled the string on that one a little bit too.
Well, she threw it just so that made sure she wouldn't set up a double. And she was just a little bit light, but it was a way out, and they couldn't sweep it to try and get it in anyway, because it ran straight. We noticed that on the second end that they ran straight down there.
Open it right up. Just block it right here. Put it top 8. If you're going to block, it might be easier
over
to
in our
block
update game in the fourth end. It's 3-1 for Dave Stewart over the Tom Kratchmer foursome. And here's the last shot of this end. Stewart looking to pick up a possible 2 here.
And just played to tap the blue one out. Tom's rock out, and it's maybe a little too hard, and slid by it and let Tom steal one.
It hung out there much the same as it has on that side on sheet number 5. And a steal of 1 for Tom Kratchmer. And now trails by 1, 3-2 after 4 ends. And here in our main game, Cathy Borst trying to avoid giving up at least 2 to Heather Nedohin. And again, you get a good look at Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer, but all the sweeping in the world isn't going to get that one into the house. And
well, what it's done though is effectively blocked off the house again.
Yeah,
makes it tougher to try and get in for 2. So now you've got play a tap on the yellow one. Bump it straight back into the 4-foot.
And settle for the 2.
Yep.
I think we're going to hang on center for just a
I
little
think
bit.
a little less.
Do you?
It's curling, if anything, this way, not this way.
Okay.
Fighting 4, right?
Sorry? Yeah, you got to hit bite 4.
Do you guys like this ice?
I don't think it's going to take off. I think it's going to ride here.
Biting 4. Straight back.
Now, we haven't seen this turn on this side of this sheet. We know the turn the other way stays pretty straight.
On the second end, Cathy Borst threw both draws down here this way. She tried to draw down. Her first one she drew down just in front of the one in the 4-foot. Took a little bit more ice than this, and it only curled to about that far. So this is going to run very straight.
You see Rona McGregor signifying that the weight is up. It's got to move. It gets
quite
by
a bit
the
of
guard.
weight on it.
Yeah.
She hit it right on the nose.
Through the house, and 1 yellow for Heather Nedohin. And she now trails by a score of 3-2 after 4 ends. And I don't know whether lack of familiarity with that side of the sheet and that turn forced her to maybe throw it a little bit more than she wanted to.
She just threw it a little too hard. She threw it harder than she wanted. She knew she wanted to throw draw weight, and when you're playing a guard like a bump on that, she wants to bump it back to the 4-foot, and she just overthrew it a little bit. She had good line on it, though. She was right on the ice. She knew that it was going to run pretty straight, and it did. That goes back from like the second end. They know what's going to happen with the ice.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Just watching David Nedohin behind us, just pacing up and down in the last couple of shots.
I think he was just coming over to look.
Was he? This is Rona McGregor opening up the 5th end.
Okay, Heather's asked for a guard. Of course, this with the 3-guard zone, you can't hit the first 3 rocks that are out in front of the house. So she's got a guard. Cathy asked for one to draw behind it. That's trying to eliminate or neutralize the guard by drawing one in behind it. Plus, at the same time, giving you the opportunity for 2.
The fact that it's a high guard, too, does that factor in?
Well, there's more room to come around it, but you would still, even if it was close, you'd still try and draw behind it. Because you want to get to that situation where they have to play the bump.
Right. Brenda and Glennis on that one. Now they'll try and get it just to the top of the house, and they'll settle for the guard.
Ice runs awful straight there when you get it out.
Boy, does it ever.
You know, to take advantage of the guard, Heather's asked to draw around it. To be on the top of the 8-foot around it.
Meant to ask Lauren before we went on the air if the warm temperatures outside have influenced the way he's been setting the thermometer in this place the last couple of days. I know it was cold in here on Tuesday night. Oh, it was really cold.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. 36 degrees, I think he said, Fahrenheit.
You can't wear your golf shirt.
I know.
It's not golf weather, it's curling.
I know. It's not so much the shirt that bothers me, it's the shorts.
Hey, Rona was just a little bit lighter than she wanted there. She wanted to be in the house.
So Cathy will ask to have that one removed.
Yeah, walked up and peeled it off. Asked Kate Horn to hit it.
And she'll peel that one. Will she? No. A case of up weight.
Well, she had peel weight. That's what they were talking about. But might have been a little wide. It might have fallen back a little bit too right on that line then.
Yeah.
We can't get a good line on it, but she wanted to hit more of the yellow one than she did.
Christy Moore, 83% after 3 ends.
She's been playing very well.
She and Brenda Bomer tied at that mark. Both seconds, curling 83%.
You know, what Heather wants to do here is get control of the front of the house. So she's taking the Cathy's rock out and staying right there. And now she has control of both sides.
Okay.
Regardless of what Cathy does, she's always going to have an opportunity to bump one in or come around one and steal her 1 point that she needs.
Crashes off that blue stone out in front and will slide out of the house.
We've got some scores from other games going on.
Go ahead.
On sheet 1, Mark Johnson is ahead of Darren Fish 2-1. Mark Johnson just lost the final of the Poor Boy Bonspiel on the weekend to Dave Nedohin. Okay, on sheet 2, we have Jamie Booten ahead of Bran Hatta 3-2. Sheet 3, John Clemenhig is ahead of Glenn Hunka 4-3. And then our 2 games on 5 and 6. And then on sheet 7, Tracy Telford is leading Kevin Martin 3-2. On sheet 8, Kevin McGregor just picked up a 4-ender to go ahead of James Paul 5-3. And on sheet 9, Rob Schlender is walking away with the game against Dale Wishawan to the tune of 6-0.
Ooh.
Sounds like your kind of game, Dave.
No. I like the nothing part of it. Is
no, that isn't what I meant.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Anyway, now
go ahead.
Heather's gone ahead and now asked to, again, take control of the front of the house by getting a nose hit. There's a good shot by Christie. She just hit it and rolled a wee bit.
So we got a couple of yellow stones out front. Cathy would like to get rid of one of them and maybe just roll over. Stick around for a bit.
See, we have a pretty good crowd up here tonight. I see Mr. and Mrs. King, Cathy's mother and father. When Cathy and I played together in the Canadian Mixed in 1994, they watched all of our games. Canadian Mixed that year was played in Leduc.
Boy, when you think about the number of curling trophies that must be on the King mantle, going back to the days in Winnipeg and Cathy's junior days, of course, and her brothers. And, well, great curling family.
Okay, they cleared the guard. Now Heather is asking for another guard up front. She wants to get a rock in position so she can steal one.
Well, she's got the one yellow stone on the right side of the sheet.
Yeah, the one on the right side, the one that's closest to the rings. If it comes down to the end of the end, she'll use that to draw her rock round to force Cathy to take one.
Now that one slides into the house.
A little deeper than what she wanted.
Yeah, and here's an opportunity now for Glennis Baker to hit that one and roll in behind the Yellowstone that we were just talking about. Oh, they're sweeping this one hard. Don't think they're going to get much of a roll. In fact, it's going to go to the other side, if anything.
Yeah, it got it into a place where it curls a little bit and it rolls. If she'd have rolled that far the other way, she'd be right behind the guard.
That's right. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a track down there where once it gets across that line, it'll take off pretty good on that out turn.
Well, we notice that Heather's given about a foot of ice here to make that shot, to try and make the hit and roll.
I want you to know you're very lucky tonight. There are no left-handed curlers. We had 3 of them last week, and Kevin Martin, I thought, handled it beautifully.
Yeah? How does, when you're doing the broadcast like this, how does a left-handed curler affect you?
Well, the left-handed intern would be different than the right-handed intern. And same with the outturns. So if you're talking about an intern, we had to be very specific last week. Let's just put it that way.
Ah, okay.
But I thought Kevin handled it well. Glennis Backer. The intern looking to get in behind cover. And Brenda and Kate are really onto this one. Now they'll back off a little bit.
And she's got pretty good weight, and the line looks awful good on it. So
and get it to finish a little bit more, and they do, right in front of the Sun logo.
No, and just throw hit and roll.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Sun, we'll go back downstairs here.
Hasn't played many out turns.
No, just think, yeah, we did. I threw here in the first end, and I not just.
Throwing control or board?
Board.
Okay, so she's asked just to throw board weight and tap the blue one out.
Yeah.
Now she's going back to saying that she'd thrown a couple down there with the in the first end. She threw a draw with an out turn basically with that same ice and ran straight down. But they haven't played with the in turn going across though. Now when we watched that draw, it didn't take any big curl. It just curled sort of steady. If she's got board weight, she should be awful close.
She's got Rona and Christie sweeping this one. It will not get by the guard. And both Yellowstones will roll out.
Curled a little more than what she had expected there.
So Cathy will go to the standard procedure of splitting the house and try and set up her deuce if she can.
Wants to throw it just in front of the tee line, right in the middle of the 8-foot. Now, if you had your stopwatch out, you could tell me what the time's been, but I noticed you didn't bring it again.
Terry's got it. Terry's got my stopwatch.
Ah, okay.
Which is really his stopwatch, but, you know, whenever you're around, it's my stopwatch.
It becomes your stopwatch. I think it's about 13.5 seconds what they've been throwing.
If it hasn't changed much from Tuesday night, it is 13.5. That's what it was on Tuesday night.
Were you using Terry's stopwatch on Tuesday night?
No, actually, I was using my second stopwatch on Tuesday night, Bruce. Some night when we got some time, we should talk about the different methods of timing.
Sure.
So you called the shot, split the house, put it just in front of the tee line, and that's just about where it is.
Yeah, she made a good shot. That takes away any chance of a double or a long roll to get behind. That way, if you roll over to get behind it, there's a good chance you're going to roll out. What you want to do here is you want to hit and roll, get shot rock, and force the other player to make their shot. Biggest part is you always want to make them make their shot instead of giving them a free shot. You give them a free shot to draw, and you got 12 feet to hit. So you want to eliminate that part of it.
They're onto this one. It's stuck out along that 4-foot line. Will she catch enough of it? Yes, but she'll roll out and leave Cathy Borst with the open draw for her deuce.
Yeah, she'll just throw the same draw she just threw back into the same spot. And generally in curling of this caliber, this is a pretty easy shot because you're just throwing that and it's routine. That's why I was saying if you just hit and roll, make the other team play a shot. Now, if you don't have your stopwatch, watch the clock as the rock crosses
Cathy,
the tee line.
Terry just went out to his
get his
vehicle
stopwatch.
to get my stopwatch.
Okay.
So Cathy Borst with the draw for 2. To go up by 3, she leads 3-2.
She's 13.5, so she's going to be awful close.
Any part of the paint, she's
Right
got
back
it,
to the
picks
same
up
spot.
2, exactly right, and now leads by a score of 5-2 after 5. Stick with us, we'll be talking with the thirds in just a moment.
Read the Edmonton Sun daily for your end-to-end coverage of Herber's Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Come in and visit Kevin's Curling Supplies. Located upstairs in the Ottewell Curling Club, Kevin's knowledgeable staff are all top caliber curlers who can advise you on the products that the professionals use. Kevin's Curling Supplies, brand names the champions trust. Coca-Cola wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening, always Coke.
Do you, Karen, take Brad to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Brad?
Donnie? Derek? Tracy? Todd?
Too bad we can't do for life what we do for television.
Back down at ice level here at the Ottewell Curling Club, and with me is Glennis Backer. And Glennis, you're well traveled. There's no doubt about it. But a big game tonight, and it looks like it's going to develop into an interesting contest.
Yeah, we've had a couple interesting ends already, and it's nice to score the deuce there in the last end in the fifth. So I think we'll probably keep it pretty clean from here on out. But
well, honestly, the ice seems a little straighter tonight than it normally would be at the Ottewell.
Very straight. I haven't played a lot of games up here yet this year, but yeah, this is the straightest I've seen so far.
Talk about your experiences this year now since joining Cathy Borst and her rink. As I mentioned, you're well traveled. You're getting some good travel points.
Yeah, exactly. It's been busy. It's been hectic. Different experience, that's for sure, but they're a great team to work with, and although we're not getting a lot of practice time together, so far it hasn't hurt us too badly. We finished fourth on the tour, which is fairly respectable, so now we're looking to go into playdowns and do well. So
talk about the effect that not playing together has on you. Does it affect you normally more than, say, if you were playing less together?
It's not so bad because they've all been together for so long. They know each other so well, and they've made it really easy for me to slide into third. They're very accommodating, very supportive teams. So it's been easier than I think it would be on a lot of teams.
Talk about your style fitting in with this rink. How does it fit in with the rest of the girls?
I'm not exactly sure what they're looking for, but my style is to sit back and let the skip call the game and try to support her as much as I can. That's what I like my role to be. Mm-hmm. So, and Cathy's a great leader. So.
Do you feel prepared now? The zone's coming up, I guess, in another week or so. Do you feel within yourself that you are prepared, that this rink is prepared to get on with it?
Yes, I think we are. I think we've just kind of been waiting all year for zones to come, and that's the feeling I get. So, and actually, an interesting little story. I did get a little bit of hassle down south for coming up here. They accused me of going to the dark side, but I told them that no, I finally brought them to the bright side.
So I think Cathy's been getting a little bit of the hassle from the dark side up here.
Yeah. I imagine.
So it's a two-way street, but I know just watching tonight, it's a great game. It's been fun to watch, and I know that you seem to be enjoying yourself out there.
Yes, I am enjoying myself.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks very much.
Glennis Backer, and now let's go over the other side and bring in Carmen Barrick. And Carmen, your thoughts on the game so far tonight? Going the way you thought it would?
Well, we've missed a couple of key opportunities, but I think we haven't been trusting the ice. It's a lot straighter than it mainly is, and so if we believe it a little more and execute a little better, we're not going to give up yet.
Now, talk about this rink, and I know that you guys have played together over the years, and then, of course, Heather went on to play with Cathy, back together again, the gang almost. How do you feel about it?
Actually, it's great. We are four great friends, getting along really well. It's a growing year for us, though. We've qualified out 3 out of our 5 bonds bills, so we're happy with that. But there's bumps along the road, but that's part of the fun, right? You know, you got to learn from them and improve, and we sure hope to make some provincials this year and see what happens.
One of the things that Heather wanted to do, of course, when she formed a rink, was come back into the Super League. Your thoughts about playing in this league? Oh,
I'd never played against men before in the Super League. I must have been, I was a little scared, but we played really well. We had to qualify to get in here, and I was happy that we did. And, well, we've been beaten a lot, but we're learning a lot, too.
Well, it's been a fun game to watch, and I know we're going to see more of the same in the upcoming 4 or 5 ends.
We sure will try.
Okay, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Carmen Barrick, the third for Heather Nedohin, and we'll be back with more action from the Ottewell Club right after this.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCAD Summit, if it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body, like it never happened.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Rozak along with Les Rogers, and I know we don't want to make this a habit or anything, Rudy, but Rudy Ramcharan is with us, and boy, I'll tell you, Rudy, we're only a few days away from the start of the World Open. Bring us up to date. What's happening?
Well, it's been another exciting day.
You're trying to tell me that your
organizing
phone bill
the World
is going to be a big
Open.
one.
Oh, it's just incredible. Continuously on that cell phone.
Well, the latest story that we get is that you've reduced the prize money situation there. What exactly is going on there?
Well, only kind of, sort of. We did that quite a while back. We're basically deferring a lot of stuff. It has lots to do with the with entry fees for future events, which we'll announce to the World Open, that kind of stuff. So, but it's in a roundabout way, it's still worth $500,000 to the players, just not in cash up front. Now we've kind of did this quite a while back, though,
yeah,
right. So it's and also the prize money is more distributed evenly, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, have any of the players, any of the rinks that originally agreed to come to the event, have any of them pulled out?
Yes, they have. We had Howard earlier in the week pull out, and we replaced him with Tom Reed, the defending World Open champion. He won it back in '82, and he also represented Alberta in '98. At the
and 77, by the way.
And 77.
I remember that personally because I was representing Saskatchewan at the time and played against him.
Did you beat him?
As a matter of fact, we did, yes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I
find that hard to believe.
It was quite an exciting game. I think it was 2-2 play in the 8th end, and we got 5.
And now the word is that Mike Harris pulled out.
Mike Harris pulled out this morning. Those fellas having trouble with work. And as well, Bruce Cordy. And who else did I say here?
Vic Peters.
Vic Peters, right.
Okay.
So we've replaced them with Dale Duguid from Manitoba, the '98 Manitoba champion.
Oh, this might be the Magic team from
no,
Seattle or Vancouver, or wherever he's from.
Bodner checklist.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the three. It's the 3 guys. It's the 3 regular team, but I'm not sure who else they're bringing. But it's not
some
Bodner.
other guy.
It's some other guy.
Now, are they representing British Columbia or Manitoba?
Yeah, we still don't know. They're all from Manitoba, so.
And they're coming into Edmonton, so that's good enough.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So Dale Duguid, yeah.
And we've got Scott Park, Kevin Park / Scott Park / Shane Park and Kerry Park. Taking one of those spots.
Well, you're not losing a whole lot there. I mean, they're up there in the top 20 in the WCT.
Oh, yeah. Basically, like, the strength of the field hasn't changed much. It's pretty much the same. And we've got the very exciting David Nedohin. Oh, yeah, I know. But I made sure he wasn't in my pool. He's in with Lester.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's good enough. We've played him twise this year and beat him both times. So.
Yeah, really? Wow.
Yeah. Now, are you still planning
on a roll?
Are you still planning on a qualifying event?
We're having a qualifying event, and the last update was we've got 6 teams. They kick it off tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. There's 4 draws tomorrow and 2 draws on Friday, and that'll determine the final 2 teams.
And that will, of course, be at the Agricom?
Yes.
You've been out to the site. How does the ice look? How's the situation down there?
The ice looks really good. The boys have done an excellent job on setting up that building for us. We threw some rocks today at the ice, lots of swing. We've got about 4 feet of swing, and it was 13.5 to 14 when I left, and some guys went back later and they had it down up to almost 14.5, 15-ish with 4 feet of swing.
And it'll get better with more games on it tomorrow. Once you play on it and get the greenness out of the new ice, that'll make quite a difference too.
So everything is still rolling along, and
We're still rolling along.
You've the ticket sales are climbing a little bit.
Ticket sales are going a little bit better for us. Yep,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Okay, you have a Pro-Am coming up on Friday?
The Pro-Am coming up on Friday. It's basically just for the sponsors. It's more of an appreciation kind of thing. The sponsors get to play with some of the guys that are going to be here. So that we have a Pro-Am reception Thursday night, and then we'll just see how many bodies we got, and then we'll all go down and play at the Avenir Friday morning for 3 hours.
Okay. There's no truth to the rumor that Con Grakowski is playing third for you. Is it?
The always lovely, somewhat misinformed Con Grakowski. I love that man.
You got any of the media coming down for that Pro-Am?
Yeah. Some of the guys will be hanging around at the skills competition, which is later on Friday,
Right.
and I told them about the Pro-Am, so it all depends on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah. The media will be hanging around all day.
Okay. Now I mentioned tickets. Where are they? And
Tickets are still on sale at Ticketmaster, of course. And as far as total sales, you mean?
no, just where you can get them.
Yeah,
in
we're Ticketmaster. Yeah.
Okay.
Ticketmaster, and the weekend passes, or the 3-day passes, still start at $39 and $69 for the final weekend, all 3 days.
Now, honestly, when you look at the players that you've lost, but the players that you brought in, doesn't look like you've lost a whole lot.
No, we haven't lost.
In terms of caliber.
As far as caliber goes, we haven't lost a whole lot. No.
Well, it's going to be an excellent field.
Yeah.
We know, I believe Marcus Egler from Switzerland arrived on Sunday, and he's been out throwing rocks.
He's been out throwing rocks all across the city, and for hours apparently. He's also been, he took on Leicester last night at the Granite. Leicester, not being the very good host, beat him.
We had an excellent game. We had a lot of fun out there.
It was a good game, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good. A good game. They're good. They're a very good team.
They're having a lot of fun in town.
Rumor has it that Marcus will be showing up here at the Ottewell Club in about an hour or so to play in the late draw against the manager here at the Ottewell.
Oh,
Rick
okay.
Kravanka.
That'll be good.
He's replacing Jerry Seaman.
He's replacing me.
That's right.
I didn't realize he was playing Rick Kravanka, though.
Oh, yeah. Rick is really excited about it, too.
I thought they'd be here by now.
Actually, they were here earlier.
Yeah, they were.
I think they just went to have a bite to eat.
Oh, okay. I guess those guys have to eat too, eh?
There you go. Well, everything is rolling along with the World Open. You've got the qualifying this weekend, and then, of course, they get underway big time.
Big time.
On Monday, right?
Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Have you got T-shirts and stuff for sale like people can buy? Is that what you got?
You know what? Not really.
No, you didn't do that? Okay.
No. We thought about all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been spending the last 2-3 weeks putting out a bunch of fires, Lester. So.
Using T-shirts?
Yeah, exactly. I'll throw that shirt in there.
Yeah, no.
We haven't even got hats. So.
No promotional.
I got no promotional stuff. I've got a fellow working on it. See if we can do something last minute for it.
Okay.
All right, let's go down to ice level here, Rudy. Just while we got a couple of seconds, we're down to skip stones, and Cathy Borst, with her first rock of this sixth end, leads by a score of 5-2.
Now, this is where they ran pretty straight when they threw the ones down on the fourth end, Dave, and I think this is just exactly what's happened here. As Cathy's throwing it just a little maybe harder than she wanted. Ran straight down and slid by. This gives Heather the opportunity to count 3.
And throw a little less weight.
It certainly does, and I'm excited by that. That's my team. Yes, Heather.
We got by the
That's
guard
your team?
by
That's my
10.
team. Look, see what they're wearing the World Open stuff.
Perfect. Those are nice jackets, by the way.
Those are great jackets.
That's a great emblem. You did a fine job on that.
I paid for that, and I didn't come up with that myself.
All right, well, we got a minute. We'll go over to sheet number 6 here, our update game between Tom Kratchmer and Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart is leading by a score of 4-2, and at the moment, Mr. Kratchmer is sitting with 2 blue stones surrounding the button and has an opportunity and drawing for 3.
Drawing for 3, yeah. That'll make it an awful close game if he makes this.
Trailing by 2 with a chance to go up. He's got to get full 4-foot. Tom Kratchmer. He's got to be close. You got to like it when the sweepers are off and on. Now it starts to move in a little bit. Now they're onto it. Rubs off the yellow, and you know
Little too hard.
Yeah, I was just going to say that maybe they got into it or got off it a little bit later than they wanted to.
Should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have laid off it a bit because rubbing off that yellow one wasn't going to hurt them.
No, no. So there you go. They pick up the 2, steal the 2, and it's all tied.
They count 2.
They count 2.
They count 2,
Did I
which
say
makes
steal?
it now 4-4.
I was right the first time. I knew that.
Yeah. Anyway, Heather Godfreyson Heather Nedohin threw her draw in, and she didn't quite get the amount of curl that she wanted out of it, but she had excellent weight. But leaving Cathy the opportunity to make a double here, she run that straight back. I want to go over the...
Here's the double attempt. There's the one. They just brushed by that one at the back of the 8-foot. Cathy will stick around, and that leaves Heather with pretty much the draw for 2.
Heather with the draw for 2. This is the same kind of thing that we had happen last end with when Heather hit and rolled out and give Cathy the free draw. Well, Cathy's done the same thing, leaving Heather the free draw. So now she's got the same shot to throw to get her 2 points.
That's right.
And with the skill level, like I said, these ladies have, this is a regular, pretty easy shot. I miss them, but I know that they don't.
The draw anywhere in that 8-foot will do very nicely. Not giving a whole lot of ice. I mean, it seems to be running even more straight than it did in the first couple of ends.
You remember back to the 4th end, they took that same ice Cathy drew just to the edge of the button.
Yeah, that's right.
That exact same ice.
Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to...
There, it looks like...
It's got pretty good weight on here. They're sweeping it hard.
Carmen Backer now is out to give him a hand. And, it's in there with plenty of room to spare for the 2. And it's now a 5-4 game. Cathy Borst leading Heather Nedohin after 6 ends of play. How would you like to do a little trivia here? I've got my buddy, Rudy Remcharan, with me here. We have some... a multiple choice, Les. Cathy Borst last won a Canadian championship in 1998. When was her first Canadian championship? I know the answer to that one. I know the answer to that one.
This is either A, B, C, or D.
That's right.
David, which one is it?
C or D. It's A, when she was a junior.
You know what?
You're wrong.
You're wrong. It was B. 1977.
Won a second one in 78, didn't she?
Yeah. Okay, so I was up by 1 year.
Yeah.
4 chances, 25% of the time, you're always going to be right.
1977, and you're right. Okay, all right. I thought it was...
Okay. These.
We're not as old as Dave, Rudy.
Oh...
Anyway, Rudy, we're glad to see you back here, and we'd just like to go over what's going to happen with the Open. The draw starts on Saturday, I believe.
On Saturday. We kick things off Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. We've got Stoughton versus Joe Franz, who won the qualifying event in Toronto, by the way. And Guy Hemmings versus Kenny Hunka, Dale Duguid versus Bert Gretzinger. And at 1 o'clock, to the draw number 2, we've got Egler versus our fall qualifier, myself versus Kevin Park, and Wayne Madaw versus Kerry Burtnick. I don't know how that happened, but all right.
Only 2 of the best in the world.
Only 2 of the best going toe-to-toe right away.
Right.
Who made this draw?
Sounds like a good draw.
At 6 o'clock, we got Shimko versus the other fall qualifier, and Martin versus Greening, and Nedohin versus Reed.
2 of the next 2 top teams.
2 of the next 2 top teams going toe-to-toe.
That's
in between there, though, you have...
In between there, at 5:30, we've got the opening ceremonies. So I believe the tickets say for that draw 5 o'clock to make sure everybody comes in time. But so don't rush. It's 5:30 is the opening ceremonies.
What can we expect to see at opening ceremonies? Like,
opening ceremonies, we're going to parade the boys out, just introduce them, bagpipes, I guess. And I think I'm not sure if the RCMP or somebody's doing something. That's not my department.
They're going to guard the trophy. The RCMP are guarding the $59,000 trophy.
Yeah. And just introduce the boys.
So, I mean, with an opening draw like that, it just continues all the way in through the week. I mean, the best in the world are here.
Every day for 5 days we get them.
Well, thank you very much, Rudy, for stopping by. This is great. And I'm glad to see that everything is still rolling along. Sure, you've lost a few, but you've brought in a couple of great curlers. One guy standing right here behind us, David Nedohin, and only one of the top 5 in the WCT. So it's going to be a fun week. There's no question.
It is. It's going to be an excellent week.
We look forward to seeing everybody out.
Okay, thanks very much, guys.
We'll see you next week at the Agricom for the World Open. And our thanks once again to Rudy. And back in our main game here on sheet number 5, it's Cathy Borst leading Heather Nedohin by a score of 5-4. And Nedohin sitting with 1 behind cover at the edge of the button. I think I know why David Nedohin was standing behind us. He was trying to peek over Rudy's shoulder, Les, to see who he was playing in the opening round.
Trying to see what all is happening there. Okay, what we've got happening here is we've got some rocks in play. Heather's got shot rock in there, and she's trying to draw right down in front of it. If they just roll off the blue, and it'd be an excellent shot.
And again, I think Heather was trying to...
Okay, I like that.
Heather sitting with that yellow stone at the side of the button, and right beside that is the blue stone that she would like to get rid of if she can.
Well, she just wants to just draw it down and just bump it and roll over. Getting rid of the blue one isn't really going to do her any good, but if she gets it in front of the yellow one, then she's got an excellent shot. That blue rock isn't going to hurt her.
Yep. I think they've got them guessing on that side of the ice, Les. I know Cathy's stone. They were looking for that one to move in a little bit, and it didn't move at all. And
well,
then they tried
the rock has to get to the center line. It's very gradual curl till it gets to the center line, as we've seen on the third end when they were trying to draw around and it over curled on them a couple times.
Yeah. Brenda Bomer. Being asked to peel that guard. Just gets enough of it to get it out of the way.
Yeah, when they picked their weight up there, Kate Horn had a miss there on the 5th end, exact same spot.
Yeah.
And it just looks like if they pick their weight up, it might run real straight, even back up a little bit for them. So that's a difficult place to peel with.
Well, same shot for Christy Moore.
Getting good movement on this one if she can get it in there. See, the farther, the deeper it gets, to get a little bit more curl on it once it gets in there a little farther. Now that one being 5-6 feet heavier than the last guard is over at least a half a rock farther too.
Okay. So you've got that yellow stone at the front of the house. Another one sitting on the button. And you've got Brenda Bomer.
No, she just wants to peel the guard off.
Yeah.
Get it out of the road.
At this point in the game, there's no percentage in going after the two of them, going after that one in the button. With the double.
No, I don't think you can see enough of it. No. If you play it close like that, there's a good chance you might run into the front guard.
Okay. Oh, she was thinking about it, though.
Well, that's just it. But you see, you have to hit it so straight.
Yeah.
Like so much of it that, you know, you sweep to get it by the front one, and in that particular case, it just doesn't curl enough to hit the back one.
Right.
This is fine. Actually, I like this. We'll chip this over. Okay. Board weight.
Yeah. Don't you? Because it's going to nick ours just a little bit over behind the guards.
Yeah, but you're not roll far enough to make it the right amount.
So you want the inside roll? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, now you get what they were talking about there?
Yep.
Heather wants to hit it and roll to the left. And just rub the yellow one a little bit farther in behind the guards.
And Carmen was thinking, well, what about the inside roll?
Well, they don't curl there. We watched 4 hits come down there that aren't curling, and you see this is the same thing. It's not curling either. I don't think they're going to like the results here.
Definitely not.
Oh, they got it in behind the guard, though. That turned out very good. Ended up not getting the blue one out of play, but succeeded in getting the yellow one in behind 2 guards.
So again, Cathy Borst is forced to go after those 2 stones in the front of the house, and you saw this earlier in the game, and it worked out well for her. I think it was back in the second end.
Yeah, the second end with Heather got 1.
Yeah.
Now she's asking Gunness to peel off both guards. Now this is where they curl when they get to that center line.
There it is. Gonna have to go some.
Oh, there's a good shot. Got rid of both guards. That's an excellent shot because it got rid of the guards from in front.
Yep.
And leaves it wide open. Cathy's got a 1-point lead. She's got last rock. Want to make sure she can get 1. It's a bonus to get 2.
Like this, or do you want the guard? Yeah, I do too. Pardon me? Yep.
Anything, keep it on your side, Ronan, so if they can't see it, I'll run back onto the blue. I would rather come in their turn, Heather. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. Okay, I need to find guard. Wait, I've been in the house with my guards.
Okay, now Heather's chosen here to throw a guard on it. She's got a rock in a good position. She's taken the aggressive stance, saying we need 1 point. We've got a good position to get it. Let's throw a guard. They were just talking about it. Carmen was saying, I want to guard, make sure I guard the center line side of the rock, if anything, because then if they try and hit it with the out turn, they're going to run it back onto the blue one.
Now, some long-time curlers would say, well, hey, the skip was calling for the out turn. But the third said, no, I would rather go with the in turn.
Well, she knows the weight better with the in turn, knows that it's going to curl, and as she did, she covered the inside of the rock, which means if you're going to hit it, you've got to hit it on the other side. If there's a that's the positive part of the whole shot is that she's got everything covered on the right side.
And that's a good thing for a lot of curlers to understand, that they can go out there and if they don't like, say, if they feel more comfortable with one turn over another in a certain situation, tell the skip.
Just ask, sure. Yep. I mean, it's a team game and it takes all 4 players to play it.
What are you doing?
And if you feel more comfortable doing that, make the change.
Run it back and roll it here. Don't you like the nose better? Nose? Control? Control! Normal? No, she said control. This will curl up to normal.
Right out of her hand, you heard Cathy Borst
Hard, guys, hurry!
getting the sweepers onto it. Oh, it's curling big time. She'll take out the Yellowstone, but roll out herself.
Well, in that particular spot, like we have said, that they do curl there now. She threw it, and then Cathy yelled sweep right away now. So we're not directly behind the sheet, so we're not sure whether she threw it a little bit narrow or not. But it did curl, and it over curled by quite a bit because Cathy wanted to hit it on the other side and run it back onto the yellow one. So now Heather's chosen the same guard, try and get it. I think she wants to be a little bit short of the house, though. That one was just biting.
Yeah.
She can be a little bit short of the house. It doesn't leave Cathy the opportunity to hit and stay in the house. She has to roll out there.
Cathy Borst with the hammer in this 6th end, or 7th end, rather.
And Heather hasn't been having a very good game, curling at 48% after 6 ends. And still in the game.
I think nerves has anything to do with that? Playing Cathy on TV?
Well, she's had some tough shots.
Yeah,
okay.
That's true. It needs to come over.
No, she's going to get a bonus for this one. That's a good shot. She's got a guard. See, again, you got it covered on the in-turn side, okay? And yeah, by looking in the camera and you see the angle, you can see a little bit of the yellow one. But if you hit it, you drive it right back onto the blue one.
If anything, that'll make it better than that. You got a good half a rock.
Yeah, the thing is, if I flash this one, if I try to get it and it backs up here like where it does, and we flash it, then they could be having a chance for two then, though. She has to make the guard perfect or we get a chance for two next end, too.
Well, how? If she makes half a guard, how do you get two? See what I'm saying? Like, I think we have to get it off the four to even hope to get one. If it's that straight.
How do you get it?
Play like hack and play it tight.
And then
like
it just
that?
jams it here, and then we roll open.
Yeah, but then you got a chance for three if she doesn't make a great shot.
Chance for three. If she jams it, she's got a
this
chance
one
to
goes
hit
out.
three.
If this goes out.
How much can you see?
There you go. Okay, then we'll peel.
Settle for the peel.
Well, they discussed trying to get the one off the 4-foot, and Glennis wanted to get it off the 4-foot, which is a good shot. But that outturn runs so straight down there, and like Cathy says, we just jam it onto our blue one, we roll into the open. She hits ours, we're still faced with the same shot.
She also thinks that there's a spot on that sheet in that area where it will back up or does back up. So
well, what they've decided to do here is throw this, peel it off, make Heather put another good guard on. If she doesn't make a good guard, then Cathy's got the tap for two. And drawing the button's always going to be an option with the last one as long as you peel the guard.
this one is hanging out there, and boy, she's able to get it out. At least get it to the side anyway.
Well, she got it off, but she got a little bit of a bad break because what she's done is covered up her in-turn draw now.
Right.
Heather throws her guard right back in the same spot. There's no in-turn draw, you got to play a tap.
Let's go over to sheet number 6, where our update game is taking place between Tom Kratchmer and Dave Stewart. And all tied at 4. They're playing in the 7th end. And you look down there at the far end of the rink, and I think you see a couple of yellow stones. One of them sitting right on the edge of the button. Looks to be shot from here.
Stewart will be counting one, and Kratchmer's got second and third.
And the plumber from Mamio Beach in the hack down at the other end.
He's throwing his last rock. It looks like he's trying to draw and hit it. If he draws it right on the tee line, he'll probably get two.
I see Pat McCallum is out there playing third for Dave Stewart. Stewart with the draw. 4-2, but he's well out there. I think he needs to try and bump that blue one back, does he not?
No,
or
just guarding the
just
yellow
covering
one.
it up. Oh.
Threw it a little light.
Threw it a little light. And he'll have to settle for the one, it looks like.
Yep. Okay, now back in our game, Heather threw the guard back into not quite as far over in front of the rock as she had hoped for. But as we know, this runs awful straight.
So now it's it's more accessible from the outside, from the upturn.
So it's right here where it curls a bit.
Yeah, center.
Okay. How much you guys got? Less than half. Well, with back line, we for sure get one.
I think this is an easier shot.
Okay. What kind of weight are you playing?
Let's throw board.
Okay. Right about just off nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what Cathy said here is that this is an easier shot to play this angle raise onto the yellow one than it is to try the outturn coming, because she just doesn't believe it'll curl in and bump it. Okay. So she throws board weight at this one, and they know that it runs pretty straight.
Yeah.
She hits about 3/4 of the blue one, she'll make the shot.
Now Cathy Borst with an opportunity for 2, leading by 1, playing the 7th end of this Herber's Auto Body Super League curling game on Shaw. Brenda Bomer and Kate Horn. Now it starts to move a little bit, but not. And actually, it looked like it may have moved a little bit more than they wanted it to, because they really had to get on it at the end. It slides through the house, and she settles for 1. And we'll be back with more right after this.
Read the Edmonton Sun daily for your end-to-end coverage of Herber's Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Come in and visit Kevin's Curling Supplies, located upstairs in the Ottewell Curling Club. Kevin's knowledgeable staff are all top-caliber curlers who can advise you on the products that the professionals use. Kevin's Curling Supplies, brand names the champions trust. Coca-Cola wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening, always Coke.
You, Karen, take Brad to be your lawfully wedded husband.
I do.
And do you, Brad?
Donnie? Derek? Tracy? Todd?
Too bad we can't do for life what we do for television.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Rozak along with Les Rogers, Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling in a game between Cathy Borst and Heather Nedohin. And it's turning out to be quite a contest, just as close as we thought it would be. In fact, just about as close as the last time these two teams played back in Leduc when it went to the final rock. Cathy Borst picking up 2 to beat Heather Nedohin. And that's the one and only time that they have played.
Yeah, this is just what we talked about. It's a close game. It's 5-5. Playing the 8th end, I mean, that's as good a game as you want. Well, I've got some scores from the other games that are going on, Dave. I'll just read them off. Mark Johnson's ahead of Darren Fish, 5-2 after 7 ends of play. Brad Hanna and Jamie Booten. Brad's losing to Jamie Booten 7-5 after 7 ends of play. John Clemenhaga leading Glenn Hunka 7-3. Kevin Martin and Tracy Telford having a very close game. It's 6-5 for Tracy Telford after 7 ends of play. Kevin McGregor leaves James Paul 7-5 after 7 ends. And after 7 ends of play, Rob Slender has defeated Dale Wishawan 6-0. So we've got some games over with. We've got more going on.
And right off the top, Cathy with the blue stone at the top of the 12-foot. Sitting in behind that yellow one, and she'll ask for another one right in the house.
Yeah, they Heather threw one out front. Cathy threw one right in behind it. Now so Cathy's going to try and go after her 2 points.
Some example here of there not being any set method of going after your 2. You can put up your corner guards. You can go into the house right off the top, and Cathy's chosen this way.
There's different strategies for each end.
Yeah.
Okay, as you go along in the game, the ice changes a little bit. It gets a little faster. It may run a little straighter with some turns, as we've seen. So what we're having here is that now we're getting that long guard, which we haven't had on the center line on a home end before.
That's true.
So it changes the strategy.
And again, not a whole lot of movement on that side of the sheet. And Christy Moore sitting in the hack with her first stone of this 8th end, looking to take out that one blue stone. Boy, it sits along that 4-foot line.
Yeah, it doesn't curl once it gets out there. So got to be soft enough to get it to move a bit.
Well, she got enough of it to push it over to the other side. Now what does Cathy do? Guard it up, or does she put another one in behind?
Same spot. Go back to the exact same spot as that one was in. Put it back in the top of the 8-foot like that one was, and you're forcing Heather to hit something. Become a little deeper, Heather can freeze on it.
Yeah.
If you put it in that same spot, it's going to make it off the top. Plus, you know how to get it there because you played there.
You might have been able to hear Cathy saying it's really hanging out there, but it's got to stop. In behind the tee line.
A little more weight on that one.
Yep. Back of the 4-foot. And an opportunity now for Heather Nedohin to come down and freeze on top of that thing and change the complexion of this end totally.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's a shot that gives Heather a chance to get out of giving up a big end here. Now what happened there is Christy was just a little light. Got it to curl a little sooner and run into the guard.
Boy, I'll tell you. It looked like it actually started moving sooner than the...
Well, because it's lighter.
Yeah.
Because it's lighter, like you said, when it looks like it runs on that line, well, it just stays straighter when it's just a little bit heavier. Well, that one was a little lighter and got into the curl part of the ice.
Wow. Very weight sensitive in almost all areas.
Oh, sure it is. Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Now, Cathy asked Brenda to throw it into the top 12-foot or 8-foot and take away that possibility of ending the game there.
That's not too shabby.
That's a good shot. Good shot.
Now this is what you would call kind of a setup shot for Heather. She's setting up a shot further down the road.
Well,
she's asking to push that.
She's got to hit this one on the nose and try and get the double at the back.
Oh, okay.
She can run this through and get the double. That obviously eliminates a big end.
Yeah.
Or eliminates a part of a big end.
Yeah. Now they're on to it. Got to be close. She won't get the double, just grazed by that stone at the back.
And she rolls, but she rolls for third shot. Okay, so it actually fourth shot in this particular case. So she's leaving Cathy Borst counting 3, and Cathy's asked Glennis now not to throw it into the house this time, but to throw a guard.
So Glennis Backer with the guard. Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer got onto it quickly, but now they're off it. Now they're back on, so it's got to be close. And I think that was the exact spot where Cathy laid the broom down.
That's the exact weight she wanted.
And the bonus is it's kind of staggered off that one in the top of the 12-foot.
It's a little bit behind the yellow guard, so that it eliminates trying to run it back and make a double out of it.
Yeah.
Now Heather's asking Carmen just to draw it into the top 4-foot. And that way you save the end.
Try the other side of this sheet.
Well, we played the out turn down here on the 6th end. Remember Cathy threw guards there that run dead straight down?
Yeah.
No, that was out in the middle of the 8-foot and the 12-foot.
Now that was 4 ends ago, so.
No, that was the 6th end. That was 2 ends ago.
2 ends ago, yeah.
2 and 6 is 8.
I thought you said the 4th.
4th end we played the other side.
Yeah. So here we go. Down along the line. Oh, they got to go some to get this one going.
Not very heavy, no.
No.
This isn't going to be good. Had good lines, you just need to have more weight.
Yeah. So this is building to be a possibly big end for Cathy Borst.
Well, she's got one in the back of the forefoot that looks right now like it's going to be a counter. She's asked Glennis to guard it on this side. There's a possible hit and roll off of the one on the tee line in the 12-foot. Possible hit and roll that to the forefoot. If you get a guard on it, okay, that takes that shot away.
And again, Brenda Bomer and Kate Horn onto it right away. This for line more than anything else.
Well, got to come on it for weight. It isn't very heavy.
Wow. They'll get it across. And there it is. It holds. And when you've got somebody like Brenda Bomer out there sweeping, boy, I'll tell you what, that made that shot.
Well, she's a good sweeper, yeah.
Wow.
And plus, they got out a little farther than what they've been playing, and it might have been a little heavier out there, too. You know, and not, maybe just didn't allow enough for it.
It looked like it was going pretty good. But they get it across, that's the main thing.
Okay, now she's going to play about board weight here to hit and roll over behind cover. She could roll right into the forefoot here.
Get the hit and roll. It should be.
You can see about half that rock. Half the one in the 12-foot.
From where we're sitting, which is directly behind this sheet, that doesn't look like a whole lot to get through.
Well, it curls pretty good. The draws we threw to the corner here, they curl real good.
So the in-turn hit and roll. Now they're onto it. You're right, Les. It is really moving on that side. Is she by the guard? Yes, by about an inch or so.
Actually, too close to the guard.
Yeah. She gets a roll to the outside instead.
Same way? Yeah.
Yep.
What do you like? She still has this draw in here, I think, eh?
I like the for.
What split?
Is there a possible split on this one? Can you hit enough of it?
Well, that'll open it up, I think, don't you?
Well, your shooter should stay up there.
Okay, well, we could bump. We could try to bump
if
that one.
Nothing else, we bump it in for second, yeah.
Okay. In order to get the split, though, I'd almost have to nose it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what she's saying is that she's just going to try and raise the blue one onto the blue one because she's only counting one. Second shot being the yellow one that Heather just threw. You can bump the blue one back onto the blue one, count two in behind the guard, and have her shooter just stay right there so it plugs that hole up.
That's the whole crucial part of that shot is that shooter stays there.
It's got to stay there and plug the hole, because if you open it up, then Heather can draw right down on top of the one in the back of the forefoot.
Okay.
Probably steal one, like eliminate any chance to count for Cathy to count.
So she's got to throw what, about back ring weight for this?
Yeah, she'd have to bump that one far enough. No, she's going to have back eight. You don't want to have too much because you can't hit the blue one on the nose, so you're going to roll over to the right anyway.
Now they're onto it. It does move inside that forefoot. Brenda Bomer and Kate Horn have to sweep this one hard. Are they bind? No, they'll wreck on the front.
Well, that's where Carmen's rock curled too, inside the forefoot line.
Yeah, you're right.
When she run the guard, when she rubbed into the guard. Now Cathy got a break out of that one. It hit the guard, but it also hit another one. and still plug the hole up.
Exactly. It cuts off any chance of a draw.
No.
On that side.
So you have to come this way, Carmen, to pump it into here.
I don't think we can pass that one.
You can't go past this way. This is the only way we can do it. Yeah, it's running a little straighter out here.
Yeah.
It'll be better.
Okay. And even a nose hit's fine. Bring in second and third.
Remember I threw it backed up here with...
It did, yeah.
That should be fine.
Incidentally, both these rinks, their averages are as close as the score is. 73% for the Borst rink, 70% for Nedohin after 7 ends. So you've got Borst sitting with 1 at the back of the 4-foot. Second stone belonging to
Heather's just trying to bump this one into the 4-foot. She said even if she bumps it straight back so that she got 2 second shots, she'd be happy with that. But she'd rather have shot rock. You better sweep it. It's not very hard.
Got a good angle on it. Does she have enough to get it in there for shot? No.
Quite enough weight.
Second shot. So there's second and third.
But she accomplished one of the things that she wanted. She wanted to make sure she had second and third shot.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure it doesn't over curl, eh? And bump them in somehow.
I think if we take the same ice we just had, which is right there.
Okay. Is this where this other one would have been to bump? Because we need to hit
That
it on
one
this side, eh? I think we need a little more. Yeah.
So she's actually got a couple of possibilities there, right, Les? As far as bumps go, but she decided to go with the one closest to the house.
Yeah, she's playing the same bump as she had the blue one right on the center line. She wants to hit about 2/3 of it on the outside or the high side of the rock and bump it onto the blue one in the 12-foot and knock it back into the 4. Now she took a little more ice. It's right on that line where they'd thrown a couple draws down there that ran straight down.
And she probably wouldn't mind too much if it came across the face of it too and got 2/3 of the rock on the other side and took that yellow one out.
No, not going to throw it that hard. Got to make sure she has enough weight to get it bumped far enough. Oh, she made a great shot.
Oh, terrific shot.
Good shot.
The percentages were there either way, and she came up with the big one for the 2 points, and now leads by a score of 7-5 after 8 ends of play. And I'll tell you what, if there was a possible turning point, take a look at this replay. Les, if there was a turning point in the game, if this may turn out to be, this could well be the Grand Marnier shot of the game.
Yeah, you watch. He comes down, and you watch. It's going to hit. Can't quite see it. It's going to hit about a half of the front rock with enough weight to bump it back. She'd have about backline weight on this. Hits both rocks. Here comes the blue one in. Right into the top of the 4-foot.
And that worked out well because that was essentially the same shot that she tried before.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Yeah, but it had overcurled them.
Yeah.
But she also threw a little more weight on this one.
Yeah.
So she got the right line and the right weight.
So Cathy Borst will pick up 2 in the 8th. And she's out to help with the sweeping. And she'll get that one down all the way to the top of the 12-foot.
Well, she called it in. Yeah, they wanted it into the top 4-foot, the top 12. That's good because what that does is doesn't put a guard out there for Heather to draw behind. And Heather obviously wants to get 2.
This is Rona McGregor, 22 years old. She is an ophthalmic assistant for the past 4.5 years or so. She was also on that 1996 gold medal winning World Junior Championship team. as the 5th. I guess the subject of trivia could be who was the other player on that team. You got Heather, you got Rona, you got Carmen, you got Christy, and Terry is sitting going, I know the answer to that.
Okay, what Cathy's asked Kate to do here is draw around the blue one. Wants to get 2 rocks in there, and you get 2 rocks around the center line. That negates the corner guard that Heather just threw. It means that every rock Thou from on has got to go to the inside until you knock them out of there.
But that's the area of the rink that Cathy was talking about back in the 7th end, where it tends to want to back up a little bit, if not just holds dead straight.
Yeah, that's the other turn that she wouldn't throw at that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the yellow one that ended up, Heather ended up stealing one with there.
That's right. And that's exactly what happened to that stone.
Okay, Heather's asking Rona to hit and roll behind the guard. Take advantage of the corner guard she threw.
Well, they got into it as best they could, but it couldn't hold it up. It curled in there and will stick around. So Cathy will ask to take that one out.
Yeah, that runs pretty straight there, Dave. That's come a little bit of the inside, but they're inside the 4-foot line too. You know, like they're playing around the center line. If they were out that little bit farther, runs straight or falls back.
You can't tell. I don't think that one is sticking around on the right-hand side of the house as we look at it.
Well, what Heather's done here is she said, okay, Cathy's got 2 out in the 12-foot, but we're going to take advantage of our corner guard and go after our 2 points.
Think that one on the far right is in?
We'll get an overhead look at it here. We'll find out.
Here it comes. Oh, it's awfully close.
I would say it's biting.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good shot. It's a draw. It's partially in behind cover.
Just board. If you get the front, that's fine.
So now here's an option shot. Play it. Make sure you're close. Throw board weight. You get the back one, or get the guard. Now, of course, the main shot of the here is to get the back one.
And there's that sweeping. They get it by the guard. Get a bit of a roll right along the center line.
It's a good shot.
Just a great shot, yeah.
Just back 8.
Glennis and Kate Horn got onto that one right out of her hand just about, but did a great job of holding it up.
Well, she threw the right weight, Cathy. They've played together long enough, like you said, for 5 years now. Cathy knows the weight. When she asks for board weight, she knows what Brenda's going to throw. And obviously hit the broom right on so you can clean it all the way. And that's what they did.
Now Christy Moore is being asked to just come down and just sit on top of that blue one if she can. Push it back if she has to, but
this is where they run so straight.
Yeah. Pushes it back a tad. But is wide open. Same shot, really.
Yep. Cathy asked for control weight here.
They're onto this one again, right out of her hand.
I think she threw it a little narrow.
It's by the guard.
Yeah, but is she going to jam it?
She does. And that yellow one will stick around at the back of the 12-foot and may even be shot. It's hard to say from our angle. But while we've got a minute, let's go over to our update game. where it's a 5-5 draw playing the 9th end between Tom Kretschmer and Dave Stewart, and there's a whole lot of blue down there in the house. I see a couple anyway.
Looks like Dave's got a draw that he's going to have to throw into the full 4-foot to count 1.
Now Dave Stewart will test his draw weight. They get onto it out of his hand, but now they're off of it. Boy, it looks like he's got lots of weight. Now here it goes. Did they wait too long, Les?
Well, he ran into the front one.
And I don't think he kicked it quite far enough, did he?
Hard to tell. Somebody kicked the rock off before you had a chance to see it stop.
I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a steal of 1 for Kretschmer. They haven't put it up on the board yet, but I don't think he got it quite as far as he needed to.
No, he didn't. Kretschmer stole 1. Yeah.
Kretschmer steals 1, and now leads by a score of 6-5. And in our regular game, 7-5 for Cathy Borst over Heather Nedohin. And Borst drawing down on top of that yellow stone.
Well, Glennis made a good shot there. Carmen had thrown a good draw in there, but it might have gone just a little bit too far. And allowed Cathy the opportunity to draw down in front of it, and they did.
So now Heather will come along and do exactly the same thing. What's the percentage there?
Well, wants to come down and get shot rock. You've got to get rocks in there so that you can bump them and try and get your 2 points. I mean, she's got to get 2 to tie it up coming home.
Okay.
You freeze right on it for shot rock.
This is Carmen Barrick. Has a degree in radio and television arts from Ryerson Polytechnical Institute in Toronto.
Oh, we got this one curling pretty fast, too. Oh,
bye. Yeah. Will she push her own out? No, it'll stick around.
It sticked around, yeah, but left Cathy with shot rock.
Just waiting red.
Got it?
Does she guard this one up? She's trying to steal.
This one's over that one, I think. It's over that one, though. It's too very close, yeah. Okay, if we can throw it so that we can sort of take away that one too, maybe.
Yeah, in this situation, she's
yeah, this is where Heather was.
She can either throw a guard,
right,
or come right in and freeze on the yellow one. Okay. She thinks that the blue one up at the top of the house is third shot, so she can throw a guard because they can't get more than 2 there. If it wouldn't have been, then you play the freeze right in there, and you can't get them both out.
It's a long time for these to come over.
She'll
get Heather guard, but she wants to get it in far enough. She was mentioning, I want to get it in far enough to eliminate the raise on the yellow guard, so that Heather can't play it back.
So just stagger it a little bit, if she can.
Get a little bit behind it.
Yeah. Cathy Borst curling at 59% through 7 ends, and Heather Nedohin at 63%. Then, of course, you've got Brenda Bowman. Steady as always, 82% through 7 ends.
Yeah, she's had a good game. She's made a lot of good shots.
You look at those percentages for the skips, Les. I mean, neither one of them have had too many easy shots.
Well,
it's been a tough game.
They've been playing an aggressive game, and what that does is doesn't mean that you're going to have easy shots. You're going to have tough shots. Well, now she made this guard as good as she could, right where she wanted it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit behind that yellow one. That takes away the raise.
Although
I don't think it's there.
don't mind just trying to come by. I'm just gonna nick it a little bit.
Do you guys like opening it up or trying this? Doing this?
But this one's gonna bounce back, Heather.
Well, we don't have to hit as much, just hit half.
Oh, we're hitting this one? First, okay. Yeah, what am I
you're
thinking?
right. This one will come back, won't it? No, it's going to come in. Yeah. It's going to come back right on in.
See what they're talking about, Dave?
Well, I think she's
We'll
looking
try
at
and clear this one
pushing
somewhere.
that blue one back onto the yellow one and
Clear
getting the
this
blue one
onto there.
behind
That's
it out of play, right?
Well, what could
Is that
happen
one of the
too,
shots that
though,
she's
if we
looking
do
at?
hit this, if we play this thin, it might come back onto this one too.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what she's talking about is just peeling the blue off,
Yep.
rolling over and knocking the other blue one out of the top. What their concern is that it goes onto the blue one on the outside there. Now if they hit a half of the rock, looking at it from here, I don't think it will hit that outside one. But if it does, it's going to roll right back, and that's what her concern is it'll roll right back into where the yellow and the blue one are in the 4-foot.
Right, okay. So as we said, there are no easy shots for the Skips in this game, and this is no exception. Wow. These two ladies have put on a great show. And I think that was one of her fears realized.
Well, she hit it a little thinner than what she wanted. She wanted to hit a little bit more of it, but at the same time, yeah, it did come off the outside one.
Same thing.
If she could have hit a little more, it may have missed the outside
Same
one.
ice, yeah, same ice.
See how it comes down? We lost it, but it just caught the piece of that front one.
And that blue stone jams on the back.
Try and throw a little less on this one.
So does the yellow one.
Although
Yeah.
it's good to take that run back.
Now, Heather's got second shot. Cathy's got shot rock, the blue one on the tee line. And Cathy also has third shot, the blue one that was knocked in there.
That's right.
So she's just going to throw the same guard again.
Would she like to maybe put this one parallel to that Yellowstone? Maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. No, you'd still like to come in far enough to eliminate the raise back.
Okay.
Forcing Heather to throw a draw for one.
You heard her say it's over curling.
Well, she's got pretty good weight, so that. Okay, now you got to make a choice. You can run it back and try for your two, or you draw the button for one.
Oh,
Be
the
one
yellow.
down coming home without last rock.
I don't know if it's gonna stay.
I like it.
Just lightweight?
No, just no.
Control, like?
Yeah. You guys like?
Chrissy says you gotta make sure they get the scoreboard.
Yeah, this isn't to me.
With our iPad.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
now.
if we actually hit it right, we could double it up and we get 3.
She's just making sure we consider all our options.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't mind this. Let's go for it. Run straight back. Yeah. No, it's harder to control board. What's it doing here? Run straight. Right here. Just 3/4 straight back.
Yeah.
Okay, now she wants to run it back onto the yellow one, onto the blue one, and stay for two. Now, she thinks there's an opportunity that if she hits it just right, she'll double the blue ones out. And if she doubles the blue ones out, it looks like she's going to get 4.
Wow.
Okay,
here's a possible Grand Marnier shot of the game. I
You
can
bet
tell
it
you
would
that.
be.
They're onto it right away.
We had some curl out here earlier in the game. Pretty close.
This one's going to be very close.
Oh, great shot.
And there it is. 1, 2, 3 for sure. There it is. 3 and a possible Grand Marnier shot of the game
Great
from
shot.
Heather Nedohin. That's pressure right there.
Oh.
We'll be back with more. The 10th end coming up right after this.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCAD Summit, if it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body like it never happened.
Back at the Ottewell Curling Club, Dave Rozak along with Les Rogers. And there you see it. Just a great shot from Heather Nedohin.
Okay, back to the game. I've got some final score. Got some final scores from the games. Mark Johnson defeated Darren Fish 6-3. Jamie Booten beat Brad Hanna 10-5. John Clemenhaga is leading Glenn Hunka 7-3 after 7 ends of play. Kevin Martin and Tracy Telford are all tied up at 8 coming home, and Kevin Martin has lost rock. Kevin McGregor beat James Paul 9-5, and Rob Schlender, as we said earlier, defeated Dale Wishawan 6-0.
That's got to be a bit of a surprise. Kevin McGregor beating James Paul. James has been doing really well. In fact, I think he was tied for top spot in his division.
Yeah,
going
well,
into tonight's game. Big win for Kevin.
As we go along in the series, the teams all get tougher.
Understand the Super League is looking at a little bit of a skins game maybe coming up in the next couple of weeks, huh?
In 2 weeks, yeah. We're going to have a skins game, and what we're going to do is we're taking the leaders from the 2 divisions.
Yeah.
And the positioning in each division, and those 2 teams are going to play each other. A skins format. We'll have the 2 top teams on this sheet, of course. And the 2 second teams will be on the backup sheet. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be very interesting.
You're not going to tell me how much money is going to be on the line, huh?
No, we'll wait for the night.
Oh, okay. All right. Substantial?
Yeah, it's more than what we're playing for on a regular basis.
Oh, there you go. Well, it should be fun then. After watching the skins game on TSN from Whitehorse on the weekend, you gotta love that format. I mean, it's just nothing but wall-to-wall granite out there.
There's always rocks in play because you're only playing one end at a time.
Yeah.
The winner of the game is basically irrelevant. It's the winner of who wins most money.
That's right.
Now, we're not going to play for quite that much money, but you can always dream. That would be nice.
There you go. It's going to be a mighty nice Christmas present for whomever should win, right?
Oh, no question.
One way or another. Yeah.
Okay, we're back in the situation here where Cathy Borst, being 1 down coming home, has to figure out a way to get 2. She's got a corner guard up there.
I think, to say the least, she really wasn't expecting to be down by 1.
Well, a great shot. There's a good shot. She peeled the guard and got rid of one in the house, which really Heather doesn't want them in play anyway.
No.
You want to get them out of there.
That was stone that could have been possibly drawn down to and sat on top of. And
have one sit in front of it, then you can't knock it out.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
We go back to the 9th end with Cathy's first one. She drew it in around the guard like she wanted and blocked that freeze off. And she wanted to do the same with her second one, but a little bit lighter and rubbed it.
Yeah.
And left that opportunity for Heather, and Heather made a great shot.
So Brenda Bomer. Throwing up what looks to be a corner guard, or it may just slide into the house. I think it did.
No, it's a good shot. It's a corner guard. That's what she was after.
Last couple of stones over in our update game, where Kratchmer is leading Dave Stewart by a score of 6-5. Tom Kratchmer with his last stone, hitting and sticking for 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, Dave Stewart is left with a last rock draw.
Well, Dave's got to make this shot for 1 to tie and play another end.
There you go. Trailing by 1. And it looks from here, if he just comes down on top of that, had one blue stone at the edge of the button. And
yeah, he just wants to come down and bump that back to the
I mean, you got the backing, why not
stay right there?
You got the backing, so why not use it, right?
You just come down and move it back a bit, count 1, play another end.
So the draw to tie and go to an extra end for Dave Stewart. Oh, he's up big on this one. It just doesn't want to move. Now here it goes.
Yeah, they've been not sweeping.
That one just took right off. They just waited too long for it. And it's a steal of 4 for Tom Kratchmer and a victory in our update game by a score of 10-5. Don't know whether that one caught something or.
Well, it was coming down and they were not sweeping it. And
you got to stay close in cases like that.
You got to be ready to sweep.
Yeah.
You know, the sweepers were watching it. If they'd had their brooms down, maybe it had been all right, maybe it wouldn't have.
Well. So a tough loss for Dave Stewart and a big win for Tom Kratchmer. Stewart, I think his record now drops to 6-5. Playing well this season. And again, Heather Nedohin doing her best to clear as many rocks as she can out of the house. Gets her one of her yellow ones to the back of the 12-foot. Nice shot from Carmen Barrick. And Cathy Borst using all that she can.
Well, she's still trying to get her 2 rocks in play. She's got to try and count 2 somehow. And so you play the freeze on it.
As I mentioned earlier, the last time these two teams met, the first time they met since the changeover, they had to go right down to the final rock of the final end before it was decided.
Well, we're not saying that won't happen this time either, Dave. You know?
That's right.
This one curled a little bit more than she wanted. Had nice weight, but just over curled.
Yeah.
Now it's sitting on the edge of the 8-foot. And here's the takeout from Carmen Barrick.
Played down here now. When they played out here a little bit earlier in the game, it curled a wee bit on him. It's curling a little bit, yeah.
There it goes. Go across, jam on her own, and she now sits with 3. And again, Cathy will look for the freeze.
You want to try this turn?
Same thing.
I thought my eyes were deceiving me there, but those are flashing lights on Cathy Borst's broom, are they not?
I think they're just stickers and the reflection of the light on them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not battery operated? Am I ever disappointed?
You were looking for something like that to help you sweep, weren't you?
There you go. I was thinking, hey, am I onto something here?
Yeah, this one's curling too.
Boy, once it gets across that center line, it just moves. And they're onto this one all the way. It'll catch a little bit of the Yellowstone, but again, it'll be wide open.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Just control.
Now she switched turns, and the reason for doing this is that if you throw an out turn at it and it runs straight, you might jam it on the yellow one.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, you're going to get more curl out of this turn, but at the same time, if it curls up to even hits it on the nose, it doesn't hit into the yellow one. So it's just playing a little bit safer.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to come big time to get across the face of that.
And you know it's going to curl, so it just, this is the safer shot of the two.
Oh, yeah. Heather Nedohin. It held pretty straight, but now it's starting to move.
He's got a good
right
shot.
on the nose. Well, Cathy she has another rock to draw down to. It's
well, she still got, this is the same one that
Afraid if I give any more, it'll run.
Glennis tried to draw two there.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Remember, we were taking those ones out here. They're still coming to center.
This is that tricky part of the ice where if you get anywhere over close to that 4-foot line, it's going to stay straight.
Yeah.
But she's inside. She looks like she's well inside the 4-foot line, so we'll see if this one will come in for her. If she's outside the broom.
Well, they got lots of room.
Yeah.
Well, she's just taking middle of the 4-foot, so it should curl over there. That's the way the rocks have been running. They will curl once they get inside that line, and she's not coming near the line, so it should be fine. What she doesn't want is to over curl and run into the front one.
They've got to stay close. Here it comes now. Once it gets across that center line, it'll move pretty good. Here they go.
Pretty good shot.
It's sitting
just right where she wanted it, in front of the yellow one.
She may not have wanted quite that much separation.
Well, she didn't. Yeah, she'd rather froze right on it, but
but she'll take it.
At the same time, that's a good shot.
Oh yeah.
Normal, normal.
So Heather would like to get what, about
get hit
a
half
third,
of it.
a half?
Half, yeah. Half will get it out without any problem. 3/4, you'll bounce it off the yellow one. If you hit anywhere from a quarter to a half, you peel it out of there. And
oh, this one's moving big time.
narrow.
Yep. Is it on the guard? Rubs on the guard, but gets a big break and punches it out. Plan B, I know. Plan B, right.
You keep sweeping them and keep going. Those happen, and that's a good shot. She hit half the rock and peeled it out of there.
So the best Cathy can do is tie it and go to an extra end.
Yeah.
Same shot as she had before. Are we taking any guesses on this one? Any bets?
13.5, and it'll make it right on the tee line.
I'm saying she will.
Oh, she just threw the draw down.
Yeah. They're off it, back onto it, which is always a good thing.
Now the difference here between the one that Dave Stewart just threw and these girls, they're sweeping this one.
That's right.
They're not standing and
Sticking
watching.
with it. And there it is for the tie and an extra end here at the Ottewell Club. It's all tied at 8, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Yeah.
Read the Edmonton Sun daily for your end-to-end coverage of Herber's Auto Body Super League. The Edmonton Sun, a news attitude. Come in and visit Kevin's Curling Supplies. Located upstairs in the Ottewell Curling Club, Kevin's knowledgeable staff are all top caliber curlers who can advise you on the products that the professionals use. Kevin's Curling Supplies, brand names the champions trust. Coca-Cola wishes the best of luck to all competitors. Always happening, always Coke.
Do you, Karen, take Brad to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
And do you, Brad?
Donnie? Derek? Tracy? Todd?
Too bad we can't do for life what we do for television.
And we're back at the Ottewell Club. Extra ends here between Cathy Borst and Heather Nedohin, and you know it had to happen, really. Well, with the kind of game that we've had, it just had to happen. It's all tied at 8. Wow.
Well, we talked about this when we started the game. We talked about it in the interviews. Is that you know, you've got two excellent teams with excellent capabilities and the competitiveness of both skips, and we're down to playing an extra end.
There you go. And Cathy will put one into the top of the button. Not quite behind cover. And that's been a premium shot, trying to get anything behind cover.
Well,
tonight.
yeah, you get the center guard, and they've had trouble getting behind it, and it's it may be a combination of the rocks and the ice and whatever, but it just they haven't been able to make that draw behind. That's right.
Well, Cathy's halfway there. She's got the center guard up, but she couldn't get in behind, and Rona McGregor will be asked to take that one out. Will it get by the guard? Yes, it does. It'll hit and roll to the outside. So again, Cathy will try and get in behind that guard out front.
Yeah, try and get. We have seen them curl once they get up to the center line when they get down to that other end. So if you have T-line weight, I think if Brenda throws T-line weight here, it'll curl in behind.
Brenda Bomer at 83%. Again, trying to get a stone in behind that front guard. Sweepers are off it. Now it'll start to move. Try and get it as far back as they can. Try and get some finish on it.
Yeah, you see what's happened here now. She got T-line weight and it drew in behind the guard.
Yeah. Still about half open.
So like we said, it does, if you have the right weight there, they do curl in behind. They will finish for you and get the opportunity to put it under cover.
And she did have room to spare, too.
Yeah. Now Heather's asking just for board weight, just to come down and either hit the guard or hit the one in the house.
Is it by? Yes. Oops. And that's just how sensitive it is out there.
That's just maybe a little heavier than what they'd asked for, and it just didn't curl at all.
Yeah. So the scene, the scenario is exactly what Cathy was hoping for. She's trying to steal one. She's got one partially covered. Now she'll try and cover it completely.
Yeah.
And cut off the four.
Well, you want to put it on this side of center line, just maybe parallel with the blue one or a little bit behind it.
Yeah. Well, you called it parallel with the one up top. It almost got there.
Yeah, it's a little short of it. So what it does is it makes Heather go after it and throw a double. Try and peel off both guards, and that's what you have to do. She has to get it open so that she's got a shot with her last one to the 4-foot.
So this is Christy Moore. 20 years old. Being asked to take those 2 blue stones out front and roll out herself if she can. Boy, she came flying out of that hack, Lester.
Well, she's throwing peel weight.
Got to be close. There's one.
Just they run awful straight there. We've watched them there before in this.
Did I hear
in this particular spot, and they run dead straight there, or even fall back a little bit.
Did I hear Heather say it fell back?
Well, if they sweep it, she was scared of sweeping it and having it fall back, and that's what happens in that particular situation.
So now Glennis Backer will be asked to put that same guard up, maybe in a little deeper.
No, you don't. The same spot's a great spot.
76% for Glennis so far tonight.
No, they don't curl much there. You see, and she's throwing it, well, a little longer than the last one was, but you've still got to do the same thing. You've got to try and get rid of both guards.
Now that's in a little better position than the other guard. It makes the double a little bit.
Makes it a little tougher, yeah. Yeah, because you've got to hit it a little straighter to hit the back one.
That's right. Carmen Barrick with her attempt at the peel.
She's got it.
Yeah.
Good shot. I mean, in that situation, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you make that peel. If you try and hit it too straight and try and make the double, a lot of times the rock you're shooting stays there, and the rock you hit goes back and hits that one and stays there too. Now you got 2 guards out front, and the other people are throwing again.
Yeah, right. You've accomplished absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So this way, at least you've got 1 rock out of play, and forcing the other team to throw another one into the same spot.
So Glennis Backer with her second stone of this extra end. You just joined us. This is Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling on Shaw. And we've got a barn burner going, as they say. A barn burner.
There, she just threw that one a little deeper, but that's a good shot. I mean, it's still staggered.
Thinking. Normal weight.
Nothing else, get the peel.
Now, with playing this shot, okay?
Yeah.
Are we playing
you run it straight back, bang, bang. You got a guard out front. You still got the one in the house. Playing the double, you're eliminating the draw. Like by not taking out the guard that Glennis just threw, you can't draw with the in-turn anymore. And you know the out-turn doesn't draw in there because we played that.
Good point.
You know, so this can make it a lot tougher for your last shot. I mean, it's a great shot if you make it.
So Carmen Barrick with her last shot of this.
It doesn't curl very much here. We know it runs awful straight.
Yeah. And may even back up to some degree, but she gets it out and rolls out herself. Leaves that blue stone open, but not for long.
What do you think?
Well,
let's give a listen here.
Katie's are throwing there.
One of the things that it does do is it forces Cathy to change her turn and throw the other turn, where they haven't thrown guards with that turn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're into that same situation as I mentioned earlier. Is you throw that guard up there, and Heather's going to have to try and peel the guard.
Yeah.
But I don't know as if that out turn, if that's the turn she's waiting to draw with her last one, will curl enough to get shot rock. You know, like the one is that blue one is biting the front of the 4-foot. You know, it's in a great spot.
I think Heather needs to watch this one very, very carefully to see exactly how much curl it'll take. So the guard goes up for Cathy Borst as she is trying to steal in an extra end. They got onto it right away, but now they're off it.
Well, they're just sweeping it for weight. The line looks pretty good. I mean, it's going to be right back in the same spot as the last one was.
Even with that kind of weight less, it, I don't think, moved any more than...
Curled about a half a rock.
Yeah, about half a rock, exactly, yeah.
Okay, now Heather's looking at the double again.
Or this way.
I think,
Cross.
yeah.
Cross?
Okay.
So she'll go for the double, try and clean everything out.
Yeah, she hits 3/4 of the rock, two-thirds, 3/4. Bounces the blue one out and gets rid of both of them.
Yeah. I mean, she knows Cathy can throw up another guard if she tries to take out that guard that's closest to the house.
Yeah.
You know, so. Well, they're sweeping this one hard. Trying to hold it up. It's close. There's the one, goes across the face of that one guard. And I don't know whether that got away from the sweepers or...
either way.
Or what?
Well, they were sweeping it. They obviously thought they had enough of it, but they didn't hit enough.
Yeah.
Had to hit more of the rock. They didn't need to be sweeping it.
But we have seen it back up.
Back up a bit, yeah, and that might have happened too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not down there looking right at the rock, so we can't tell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got the draw either way, right?
That side might be harder to find. So if we take away the 4 foot here, put it on the S for sports can.
Yeah, I mean, we have to block the forfeit.
Yeah, you don't want to curl up to center.
No.
I would have thought Cathy would have said S for Seville. One of her many sponsors.
Yeah, but what she's doing is looking at the decals in the ice.
There you go, yeah.
And I guess those are real good spots to look at.
There you go.
You're going to put it on the S.
Why not?
It helps us because we can look at it and say we see where the S in sports can is down here, and it's going to be in the same spot up there.
Yeah, you talk about marketing, and we were talking about that in the World Open. Cathy Borst is a marketer supreme. She's got so many great sponsors: Ron Hodgson, Emco, Saville, all these S.J. Whitaker Industries. You know, when you've got that kind of community support, and so on and so forth, it just makes all the difference in the world to your team.
Yep. Well, she's a good ambassador. I mean, they play well, and they, you know, they conduct themselves very well.
Yeah. And of course, she's also the co-chair of the food bank. Bring your canned food down here to the Ottewell. This is the shot that could make the difference in this contest. Trying to cut off the 4 foot. It hangs out around that 4 foot line, which is exactly what Cathy was hoping for.
No, she threw the guard where she wanted it. It's forced her to go to that outturner. Now, this is what we discussed. This is a difficult shot because of the amount of curl that it does. It runs so straight here.
Now, if we can get an overhead view, we'll show you just exactly where that blue stone is.
Okay, so she just has to touch the 4 foot.
Yeah. So all she needs is any part of that 4 foot. And it's hers. The question is, does it curl enough on that side?
No, she hasn't taken much ice, so it should curl that far.
Top 12!
For the win, Heather Nedohin. And the sweepers are onto it. Carmen Barrick is out there to help out.
No.
Is it short? It will be.
A little soft. Yeah, had to throw that a little harder.
And Cathy Borst comes up with the victory, 9-8 in extra ends over Heather Nedohin in what has turned out to be just a great game here on Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. And we'll be back with more from Ice Level right after this.
This program is brought to you in part by Shaw TV, a proud sponsor of Herber's Auto Body Super League Curling. SportsCAD Summit, the corporate clothing and embroidery experts for over 20 years. Their showroom features the largest selection of corporate clothing and sportswear in the city. And if you can't come to them, they can come to you in one of their mobile showrooms, an industry exclusive. SportsCan Summit. If it's crested, we do it. 790 CFCW, the home of country favorites of yesterday and today. Also the home of the Beauty and the Beast, Wes Montgomery and Jackie Ray. Come tie one on weekday mornings from 5 to 9. When this happens to you, give Herber's Auto Body a call. Herber's Auto Body is a family-owned business serving the Edmonton area for over 20 years with 4 convenient locations. Free courtesy cars, on-time completion of repairs, and a written warranty go with every job. But most important, Herber's prides itself on a 98% customer satisfaction. Herber's Auto Body, like it never happened.
Well, right off the top of this game tonight, we said this was going to be an exciting one, and you predicted it was going to go right down to the end. It went down to more than the end, Heather.
Yeah, it was actually nice going an extra end. Too bad I was short. You always want to leave it to your sweepers, but I guess they couldn't. There was every effort, they couldn't get it there.
Well, it was an exciting game. It was a great game for the television crew and a great game to watch on the tube. Your feelings out there as it got tight and as things went along?
Well, actually, the girls stuck in really well. I think even when we seemed like we were always behind a little bit, but consistently we got a couple, and then we got back into the game, and they kept it open. Really, to come to last rock, we played well.
Well, go back to that ninth end. You were down by a couple. You were looking at a couple, and you came up with that tremendous shot to score 3. Talk a little bit about that, would you?
Well, actually, I was a little bit narrow, to be honest, and the girls swept really hard, and in that spot, you could tell it ran quite straight, consistently. So the girls were able to back it up, and like Carmen said, it's too bad the one was biting on the other side to jam, or we could have got 4. So it was good.
I promise you, there was a lot of oohing and awing going up behind us in the broadcast booth, and for that shot,
my aunts. That would be my aunt.
For that shot, the Grand Marnier shot of the game, a beautiful vest from the folks at Grand Marnier, and I hope that you will wear it in good health.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Tremendous shot. It helped get the game into an extra end, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. We're going to be playing off in the last chance, and we're going to go for it one step at a time.
Well, good luck in that one.
Thank you.
Heather Nedohin, and now let's bring in... Boy, what a heck of a way to win a curling game, Cathy.
It's kind of like the last game we played against them in Leduc. It was the same kind of game.
Yeah.
We had control, and then we kind of lost it.
Yeah, with that great shot by Heather, of course, in the ninth end, that really turned things around for her and really forced it into an extra end.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great shot. But as soon as we ticked and rolled and missed our guard that was supposed to be blocking that shot, I thought, oh, we left it. Because if we just get it by, we blocked both shots, the one coming from the left and the right. But anyways, she made a hell of a shot, and it took us 11 ends to finally do it.
Well, the opposition comes up with a shot like that, and it's almost deflating, but you didn't let it get to you.
Well, we're only one down playing 10. We like being up in that position. We've won a lot of games this year being one down with, so she was fortunate on her last rock in 10 that she got what she did, but you still got to play it out, and we came away with the win, so that's great.
Well, it was an adrenaline maker, no question about it, and probably just exactly what you need going into the Southern Playdowns this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. We got stiff competition down there. Let me tell you, the top 3 teams on the tour were all from the South. Yeah, so it'll be really tough for us.
Expand on that just a little bit. Your feelings compared to playing here in the northern zones and now taking on rinks that you are familiar with them, perhaps, but not to as great an extent as you might want to be.
Well, no, we've played a lot of those teams all year, actually. Probably more Southern teams this year than we have Northern. But for some reason, the South teams they've melded together, and a lot of them are really strong this year. So whoever comes out of the South this year, look out, because they're going to be strong.
Well, we hope it's you.
Yeah, I'd like that.
All right, Cathy Borst, good luck in the Playdowns this weekend, and of course the rest of the season as well.
Thank you very much.
Great win in extra ends for the Cathy Borst rink over Heather Nedohin, and another great weekend, or another great night of curling here at the Ottewell Curling Club. And on behalf of Les Rogers, who did a tremendous job up in the booth again, I'm Dave Rozak, and for all the folks at Shaw as well, thanks for watching. Good night.